continue to place us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yes, you are right. We have to learn to sacrifice our own personal some things to be able to create, our comforts, our own ambitions, to be able to create a sustainable society. Now, my second speaker is Dr. Aditya Malkhani, because I know both of you are going together. So, please.
Good afternoon, one and all. Respected President of AIU, Professor Thiruvagasam, respected Madam Secretary General, Dr. Pankaj Mittal, esteemed Vice Chancellors, members of the AIU. It's my very great pleasure to be representing my organization, the Association of Commonwealth Universities, at today's important forum. Of course, the Sustainable Development Goals have been widely discussed over the last few years, and this particular conference gives us an opportunity to dwell a little bit on the advances that have been made towards achieving the SDGs, but also in outlining what the opportunities there may be to collaborate so that one can achieve these SDGs together as a global team in the future. My apologies in advance that I'm also on the same flight as Professor Bhowmik, so therefore we've been placed at the front row in terms of the speaking opportunity at this panel. But I hope you'll pardon us that in many ways this tells us that the world of participating in physical conferences, as lovely as it is, has its challenges over participating virtually, where one is not involved with the concept of boarding passes and flights and terminals and so on and so forth. But if you'll allow me, colleagues, I've got a few slides, which in the interest of time, I'm going to try and go through as swiftly as possible, but without, of course, leaving out the key messages I'd like to leave you with today. So just to introduce my organization in brief, we are the Association of Commonwealth Universities. We are the world's first and oldest international university association, go back many, many years, just like the Association of Indian Universities. We have over 500 member universities located across 50 plus Commonwealth countries. 66% of our members, colleagues, are in low and middle income Commonwealth countries. And I'm proud to say, as an Indian, our single largest number of members are from India. We also have 5% of our members in small island states, many of whom are making great progress against the SDGs, and also sadly, many of whom suffer because of the ravages of climate change. We have track record that goes back 60 plus years in managing major scholarship schemes. I'm sure many of these scholarship schemes here will be familiar to all of you, so I won't dwell too much on these. We have the great honor and privilege of having some very robust and high-powered partners across the world. Of course, we have the AIU, who have been partners for a number of years. We also share a number of our members with the AIU. We have the International Association of Universities, of Francophone universities, who are some of the other major international university associations that we work very closely with, particularly on areas of policy advocacy and policy development. We also work very closely with the British Council, as well as governments of a number of Commonwealth countries. Our mission, of course, is to build a better world through higher education, and all of our work is testimony to that mission. During the pandemic, we had to move a lot of our offerings, like many of your universities, into online mode. And I'm proud to say that we've been able to continue delivering impact in a range of areas, despite the challenges of moving online. We've transformed many of our grants into online mode. And in fact, one of the grants that I'd particularly like to highlight here, and I'm just going to move straight to that actually, is the
अच्छा बनस्थली से उनकी वाइफ जो है
sorry. So in fact, one of our most sought after grants colleagues is a series of grants called the Higher Education and the SDGs Challenge Grants. So at the ACU, we have these wonderful member networks and member communities. And one of our member networks is called the Higher Education and the Sustainable Development Goals Network, which incidentally is our most sought after network in terms of number of members. And as the name suggests, colleagues, the Higher Education and the Sustainable Development Goals Networks is one which basically is open to ACU member institutions, staff and students at member institutions who are developing projects and whose research and their teaching work aligns with the SDGs. So I'll give a few examples. And so we have on the screen a list of people mentioned and the universities that they come from. These are, colleagues, the recipients of the ACU's Higher Education and the SDGs Challenge grants from last year. So we have Professor Malik Maza from the University of South Africa, who will use her grant to assist in implementing various SDGs and advancing them through quality education and local nano solutions to Africa's various societal problems. We have Dr. Ravita Prasad from Fiji National University, who will use her grant to conduct a survey for a research project titled A Comparative Analysis in the Energy Consumption of Different Clusters of Selected Fijian Schools. It will assess energy consumption, recommend energy saving and clean energy options for selected Fijian schools, and will also work towards building and strengthening Fiji National University's partnership with key stakeholders across the education ecosystem. We have Dr. Eduardo from Athabasca University, who will use his grant to assess how business schools integrate sustainability into their teaching and research agendas. His project, Dr. Eduardo's project, aims to contribute to the development and improvement of higher education institutions, sustainability teaching and research agendas. And his fellow grantee is Dr. Nejati from Edith Cowan University in Australia. A third example I'd like to highlight, colleagues, is very much from our geographic neighborhood, which is Dr. Sang Hoon Lee from BRAC University in Bangladesh. Dr. Sang Hoon Lee's grant, SDGs Challenge Grant, is an initiative which is going to support the Research and Professional Development Center of the BRAC Business School. And the research being done via this grant will be targeted at financial literacy and gender-based disparities in access to finance among entrepreneurs in Bangladesh. The grant will also support recommendations to policymakers through research talks. And finally, the fifth name mentioned on this slide is of Dr. Scott Strachan, who's a senior teaching fellow at the University of Strathclyde in the UK. So he runs something known as the Vertically Integrated Projects for Sustainable Development Program, and his grant brings together 3 international vertically integrated project sites, which are in Strathclyde in the UK, at Georgia Tech in the US, and at Strathmore, to create a toolkit for embedding inquiry-based education for sustainable development in the curricula. In addition to some of these SDG grants that the ACU gives out to successful applicants, we've also done a lot of work in partnership with the British Council in research around SDGs and the impact that is made on SDGs through international partnerships. So in early 2021, the ACU jointly commissioned research with the British Council to assess the role of international higher education partnerships in contributing towards the SDGs. Of course, the report from this research is available on our website, and I'd be very happy to circulate this to participants in the room that are interested via the good offices of the AIU. I'm just going to take this opportunity, colleagues, to highlight some of the key findings from that report. One is the report shared that there's a clear link between partnership activities and positive outcomes across all the 17 SDGs, with quality education, partnership for the goals, and industry, innovation, and infrastructure emerging strongly. Another finding from that study is that the study felt that there was evidence that international aid interventions in the form of an international partnership deliver added value compared to other interventions. It was also felt that international higher education partnerships are better equipped than single organizations to address societal issues because they bring together various types of partners from various disciplines, sectors, and countries. A third finding from that report, colleagues, is that the interdisciplinary nature of international higher education partnerships makes them well suited to contributing towards multiple SDGs. We feel, the report felt, that there is a complementary relationship between the strategies and plans of international higher education partnerships and the SDGs, which are interlinked and unlikely to be achieved in isolation. So definitely a vote in favor of partnering internationally with institutions across the world in order to support the development and achievement of the SDGs. Finally, I should also add that our report felt that international higher education partnerships bring significant benefits for institutions based in both the global south as well as the global north. So in summary, colleagues, this report of ours forms the foundation for what will be significant ACU policy engagement aimed at taking the key findings from this report to relevant stakeholders, supporting us to increase the recognition of and funding for international higher education partnerships that tackle the SDGs. So I've got a few other examples which I'll just whiz through very quickly. So the ACU, colleagues, is again on the theme of SDGs. We are working very closely with the government of Antigua and Barbuda to help establish a center of excellence for oceanography and the blue economy. We also run a range of Blue Charter fellowships which support the development of marine studies. And we were also present at the United Nations Climate Change Summit in Glasgow at the end of November 2021. And in fact, a lot of the learnings from our participation there are being widely circulated by our membership. I just want to, I know we are running out of time, colleagues, and this is a content heavy presentation, but I just want to give this one example, colleagues, of we run a scholarship program called the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarships. And of course, as we know, scholarships build capacity and extend opportunity, thereby seeding change. That is also in sync with SDG 4B. So this is an example of a student by the name of Eli Wafula from Kenya, who is doing his education, who has completed his education in Malaysia with the help of a Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth Scholarship. These scholarships, colleagues, support the study of 2-year master's level programs in low and middle income Commonwealth countries. And Eli arrived in Malaysia in 2019 to begin his MSc in the emerging field of medical physics. In fact, what Eli hopes to achieve through the learnings obtained through his scholarship in Malaysia is to help Kenya to be able to train its own medical physicians that are homegrown, and thereby boosting the number of skilled technicians in its healthcare system. So that's an example of the ripple effect of scholarships, which of course are an important SDG as well. We also, I'll just mention briefly, we run something known as the Commonwealth Futures Climate Research Cohort, through which we have brought together a number of young researchers doing excellent work in the area of climate to come together to develop solutions that will help their communities. And this was a project that we did also jointly with the British Council. So colleagues, I'll pause here. I wanted to cover as much as I could in a brief period of time, but just to say that the SDGs are a very important area of the ACU's work, and we'd welcome a bilateral dialogue whenever time permits. My contact details are on the screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've covered a lot of ground in this very short span of time. And I'm very happy to know that so much work is being done by the Association of Commonwealth Studies. I think it was a conference held by you people, which I attended in Malaysia. So, and a wonderful conference. So thank you so much, and wish we could discuss the report findings further. But I don't want you to miss your flights also. So thank you so much. And we will miss you in this panel right now, because if there are some questions or observations, we'll shoulder them as much as we can. Otherwise, refer them on to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And we are very sorry to have to leave.
Could you please bear with us? May I invite the president of AIU to kindly hand over a token of appreciation from AIU to the two speakers, since they have to leave early. Professor Amiya Bhaumik and Mr. Aditya Malkhani. Dr. Gd Sharma will be handing over, the chair of this session. She will be handing over to Professor Amiya Bhaumik. Thank you, sir. Share the report of yours.
So we move on to our next speaker, Chair. Can I please have you? And I'm once again apologize for all this topsy-turving of the schedule, but you know, physical, as it was said, physical meetings mean airports and check-ins and so on and so forth. So over to you.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think that I'm very much delighted to represent our president, Dr. Pam Fredman, former president of the University of Gothenburg in Sweden, to introduce to you about what we are doing on behalf of our association, IAU. Actually, right now, we are also in the duration of our global meeting, which ran starting 2 days ago. And then today will be the last day of our meeting. What we call our meeting is the meeting of higher education for sustainable development cluster. So we have about 100 universities working together towards SDG. But before I touch about that, I'd like to say a little bit about our chairman, our chair ladies has mentioned. I also agree with our chair that in order to be able to produce the knowledgeable graduate for the university, I think that it is not enough. Because right now, we are also facing a lot of problems. We are also, the pandemic has not ended. But we believe that after pandemic, we will face the recession. And then after that, we're facing about the climate change and also environmental degradation. I also agree with our chair that in order to treat people with equality and mutual respect, inclusive, try to focus on inclusiveness. This is also the venue towards the sustainable society. So I think that the university should reinvent ourselves, not focus only to produce the knowledgeable people, but also being able to produce the graduate that know how to nurture the fellow people and also the planet, our environment. So this is the purpose of IAU, of having the IAU cluster for sustainable development, or HDSD. But before I touch on that, I also like to take this opportunity to introduce a little bit about IAU. We are the organization that has about 37 Indian universities among altogether 600 members around the world. And then we have been established about more than half a century. And right now, we also have a good relationship with UNESCO as an associate status. And actually our office, which our Secretary General and her team is working, is also in the UNESCO building. So joining IAU is the opportunity to be a part of global voice of higher education. The global voice will happen only if we have a chance to work together across the country, across the nation, across the region as well. And as the educator in Asia, I also have found the experience of joining IAU is quite important. Next slide, please. Because IAU is not just the forum to meet with each other and just to do something, because we focus on the value, next please, of academic freedom, next please, and also sustainable development, and also we also believe in the independence of the university. So what I feel, I also used to be the member of many associations, but what I feel about IAU is that IAU is not only the platform to make friends, to know each other, but it's a serious platform that you can make the change to your own university and to higher education. We have focused on leadership. We focus on sustainable development. We focus on digital transformation and other important issues in higher education. And then our next conference will be, can you go back?
Yes.
Will be in Dublin from 25 to 28 of October 2022. And I wish that you should be, and under your leadership of Indian University Association, you should be a part of our global voice. And if you look at the picture, this is our meeting, our last general conference in Bangkok. We also have the chance to welcome the university president and vice chancellor from many universities around the world. Not only to meet with each other, but to work seriously with each other on various important topics. So the next thing that I like to mention is about our higher education for sustainable development cluster. I think that this cluster, this is the map of our cluster. We have altogether 16 plus 1 SDG cluster. So each, we have 16 leading institutions, and in one SDG, we also have like 4 or 5 satellites of the university in other regions of the world, but working towards the same focus. Like Siam University, my own university, we focus on SDG 11. We also working with the university in Japan, in South Africa, in Indonesia, in Bangladesh, towards how to make our city a better place. And how can we use the experience that working with the city as a living lab to improve our teaching and learning and make sure that we can produce a graduate that not only know about the knowledge in our field, but know how to solve the world problems. And we also have the measurement. We also do the research. We have like the survey about sustainable development. I think that we have done for 2 times, and we are about to do it for the 3rd time. And this is why we are a little bit rushed, because we also have another global meeting on SDG that waiting for us. And next, please. And I also like to touch about ACD-UN. This is also the forum for Asia and has been established by Asian Cooperation Dialogue. We like to have a forum by Asia and for Asia and include every country in Asia. And I wish in the future you can join this forum as well. Next slide, please. And this is the pictures when we start the ACD University Network. And right now, I'm also working with this network. And this network also aims to work collaboratively with IAU to be a small platform of Asia and joining the platform of other countries. So I'd like to finish my my talk now, and then if possible, I think that our Secretary General, Dr. J Van Glan, might elaborate more on the real activity of our association. And once again, I'd like to invite more Indian university to join us and also to be with us in Dublin to, in order that we can work together, not only among university, but be the global voice to our government, be the global voice to UNESCO and UN to transform higher education, so that higher education can transform our society and can give the better future for the next generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And very, very heartening to find that there are 2 major organizations that are working towards sustainable development goals. So partnerships are already have been built in a way, and I'm sure solutions will be found. So thank you very much for your presentation. We move on to
we have 2 more speakers who are joining us online. So we'll move on to the next speaker, Dr. J Van Glan, who serves the global higher education community as Secretary General of the International Association of Universities, global NGO with UNESCO associate status. She is positioned the IAU as partner in UNESCO work on education for sustainable development and in the UNESCO Futures of Education initiative. She holds a PhD in comparative Francophone literature, speaks 6 languages, and has published several issues of relevance to higher education locally and globally. Over to the speaker.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think there is an echo. Maybe there is another camera somewhere open. I don't know, but I would like to share my screen. I cannot share the screen. So maybe Pornchai, you can share the screen from your end, because I don't think I can share from this end. I'm very pleased to be with you today with the AIU annual meet and national seminar of Vice Chancellors. It's really a big honor, and just only very sad to not be able to be with you at the University of Missouri in Missouri in Karnataka, because it would have been very nice to have an opportunity to also speak with you beyond this screen and really liaise with you on this very important topic that you have identified for this meeting: realizing sustainable development goals, the SDGs, through higher education institutions. And it was interesting to listen to the other speakers already. What can universities actually do to engage with the sustainable development goals, and why do they do so? What is it that would compel universities to address the issues that we face? Well, the answer could be very simple, and it could be very elaborate as well, but I would like to build on the presentation made by Professor Poinchai Monkombanet and take you again to the slide number 9, Ying, if you can. And there, this one. So the IAU is working very closely with the Association of Commonwealth University, as you could hear from the second last speaker who had to catch his flight. So we're very pleased to work with the Association of Commonwealth Universities. We also work very closely with the Association of Francophone Universities, and together we represent some thousands of universities around the world working on sustainable development. We do so in the context of larger programs at the UN, like at UNESCO or at the UN in New York, where we each year in July bring a selection of universities together to the UN High-Level Political Forum to present the work of universities from around the world. So also the work from Indian universities and what you do. So it's very timely that this topic is on the agenda of the AIU annual meet, because it will be very important to hear more about what universities in India are actually doing relating to the different SDGs. The IAU has launched a global cluster on higher education and research for sustainable development already in 2016, developing it along the way. And indeed, as Professor Poinchai said it a few minutes ago, since Monday, we are meeting with some 60 universities from around the world online to take stock of where universities are, how they have developed and stepped up their activities around all the different SDGs, how they connect the different SDGs between them, and how the universities work together to advance. And so they don't do that only as campus greening initiatives. That's one opportunity. Campus greening initiatives are very important because they allow to showcase what universities do, how they do it, what it means when you translate it on a campus site. So you give examples of how to better consume or produce products. You can work on energy, you can work on better working conditions, you can address the issues of no poverty by engaging the campus in initiatives around the university, bringing in different kinds of students on board, really look at inclusiveness agendas. You can work on no hunger there as well, educate the students, and keep with the previous slide, please, Ying. And so you can really bring the people together to work on these different dynamics. SDG 5 is another very important one, gender equality. So the university as a campus and as a world in itself can set examples. But then there are the other higher education missions that are very important to get on board. So the leadership has a key role. All of you as vice chancellors can foster good attention to sustainable development, to make sure that it is embedded as a whole of institution approach within your institutions, to put it in your strategic plan, to have discussions with your staff, with your students, with the technical assistance people on your campuses to look at what it means to engage with sustainable development. Then you have the academics in teaching and research. So how do you embed sustainable development principles in any kind of education, in the humanities or in philosophy, in history teaching, in the literature, or even in any kind of the humanities or in the hard sciences as mathematics or physics, because we need to actually bring on board all the different disciplines to address the issues that we face and the challenges we have to address in order to maximize on the opportunities that are out there. And as was said by the two previous speakers, it's important we do this together. Hence, this global cluster, one common goal to bring sustainable development in higher education and research forward, and to ensure that what comes out of the education serves society, what comes out of research is translated to the benefit of local and global society as well, everywhere around the world. So you saw on the map that we have invited lead institutions from the different continents to take on the lead on one of the SDGs, and that's the 16 universities from all world regions to lead. And then they bring together satellite universities up to 8, and today even 10 at times. And they work with those to, again, from different parts of the world to see what is happening, how we can learn from each other, and how we can foster attention to new initiatives that can be developed. Next slide, and we're almost at the end of my part of the presentation. So the activities are really to promote the role and the potential of higher education institutions, because very often universities still ask themselves, what can we do? Why work on the SDGs, and what does it mean to engage with Agenda 2030? And very quickly, when universities engage with SD, they realize that the students are very much interested to get on board of initiatives that they can actually make a difference to. And the staff, same. So it becomes a co-creation of new initiatives on the campuses. And it's really marvelous. So bring on board your students, develop sustainable development, little offices. They will help you develop new initiatives and construct a new future for the university and define roles that we did not label as such, but that were present at the same time. Because there is an opportunity to engage with all of these SDGs in a very, very meaningful ways in teaching, research, but also in activities that are carried out by the different stakeholders within the institution. So there are multiple ways, and the leadership has a role to play, and the way in which you design your campuses for the future will make the difference. So the cluster encourages collaboration and encourages a whole of institution approach to SD. It is not by having an office for SD that you will solve any of the issues. You have to facilitate dialogues on campus. You can invite speakers to come from different parts of the world or different parts of the country or different parts of the city, where people will have an opportunity to think differently and to develop new approaches to what we do all together. It will foster new kinds of research. It will offer the opportunity to engage with the local community and resonate at the global level as well. Next slide, please. So what we wish to do is really to bring these resources together. We do that through ACU, we do that through AUF, but we certainly do that at the global level. The IAU is the only global association that exists. We're very, very pleased to welcome many Indian universities as members. Do get in touch. We can help you if you are in need of any assistance in implementing SD. And we're very, very pleased to work with AIU, and in particular with the president and with the Secretary General Pankaj Mittal on issues bringing the associations on board of the work that is being done to advance on the Sustainable Development Goals. We know that Agenda 2030 is around the corner when it comes to deadlines, only 8 years to go. So we know that the global goals may not be met to the full, but we can do a whole lot. And let's not just sit and wait, but let's act, and let's make sure that these voices at national level or at institutional level and locally do resonate at the global level. We need further recognition of the work that universities do. We need to show that we have the experts inside the universities who can help the governments to revisit things and how they do it. So we need to also together advocate for strong roles that universities play in engaging with the SDGs and with Agenda 2030. So please do engage with the AIU do support the work that the Secretary General and the President are suggesting you take on. We will then be very pleased at all the different association levels to also make sure that that is heard at the global level and that we involve you in activities that will allow for your students in the end to benefit from the different actions that are being developed at your universities. They need to connect globally. Yeah, I think it's also very important that students nowadays are educated as leaders for the future who are globally engaged. They don't need to travel the world, but they need to look at different knowledge systems. They need to understand how to connect them. They need to understand what they can learn from other perspectives. And they need to be fostered into critical thinking when it comes to anything that they do when they engage in higher education. So we offer a series of initiatives at the IAU. I invite you to go visit our website and take part in it. We also have a series of webinar series on the future of higher education that we've developed all through the pandemic. They take place once a week. The recordings are made available, especially also those addressing issues on higher education and research for sustainable development. And all of those will be featured as a contribution to the upcoming UNESCO World Higher Education Conference on the future of higher education. So take part, also look at our opportunities to engage in writing, in sharing your knowledge on the IAU Global Cluster platform, where we share information on what universities do. It's a hub where you can find many initiatives that can help develop new initiatives locally at your universities. Last slide, please, Ying. So here are the websites that you can consult and you feel free to use as much as you wish. We also have a series of publications on dedicated SDGs or on SD in general. And we would be very pleased to hear from you and to help you elaborate new projects. So thank you very much for offering Professor Poinchai Monkombanit and myself the opportunity to engage with you online. And we will continue to listen to your interventions as they are very important for advancing the topic of SD at universities. So we really applaud the theme that you've chosen for this important coming together already, the opportunity to really leverage on the different initiatives that are being carried out around the world. Thank you for your attention and looking forward to being in touch in the future.
Thank you very much, and a very, very informative talk. And between the two previous speakers, I think we have a pretty good idea of the work that is going on. And I would also like to wish the partnership of International Association of Universities and Association of Indian Universities all the best. And we look forward that our universities will actually carry the SDGs forward given this partnership. Now the next speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. We have two more speakers in this session, Professor Keith Robert Thomas, who is to connect from Mauritius. So until then, we'll invite Professor Bhola Thapa, a Nepali educationist. He is presently the Vice Chancellor of Kathmandu University. He's basically from mechanical engineering background. He holds a PhD from Institute of Energy and Process Engineering, Norwegian University of Science and Technology. He has served Kathmandu University for 27 years in different capacities, and he has authored several books on engineering education and engineering, Shikshaka engineering, that is Nepali, and has 90 and odd research publications to his credit.
Please.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. Honorable Chair of the session, President of AIU, Secretary General, respected Vice Chancellors and delegates. It's a really honor for me to be present here among Nepali academicians, a member. We are an associate member of Association of Indian Universities. So we are the only university which is the member of the IU. to begin with the topics for today, talk on the international collaboration and partnership, but since it's in association with the SDGs, I would like to pick up with what the session chair has mentioned, like do we really, how do we define a sustainability in our context? That's the most important. I think if we are clear on that, then we will know what we as a HEI can contribute to fulfill the obligations or aim of the SDGs. And that also, like in what sort of circumstances or in environment we are defining this. So the inequalities which you have mentioned, madam, like on that context, if we discuss about this cooperations and collaborations, this will be really meaningful, and then I think definitely it will contribute for the fulfilling the objective of sustainable development goals. When we talk about the international collaboration or cooperations, so it's apparently a twin paradigm. Like one is the global partnership and the other is the regional. The approach is certainly important in this increasingly interconnected and interdependent world for transfer of most recent scientific knowledge, research, innovation, and inventions. We must accept the fact that academic institution is the part of the world still look for opportunities to share the knowledge, experience, technology from the developed world. When I'm talking about this, I'm really glad to mention here that Kathmandu University is an example, very good example of a sustainable academic and higher academic institution or university of regional and the global cooperation. Kathmandu University was established by the Parliament of Nepal, but we are outside the government system. We don't get the funding, regular funding from the government, but we do have very good network with the universities in the neighbors as well as the all around the world. That's why all the physical development, human resource development, development of the educational philosophy, the research activity which we do, and then the connecting to the communities is a part of this network, the network, the regional network, global network, and the local network. So we are really proud that we are quite sustainable on that manner. And that whatever we do, of course, in Nepal, that we don't have the government has not directed us to contribute directly to the SDGs, but the activities which we are engaged on, we are involved on, the courses which we are teaching on, the research activity which we are performing are very much relevant to all these 17 SDGs. And then when we map whatever we are doing, we are very close to those areas. The regional cooperation, however, is not less important. The academic institution on this part of the world can both create and add value to teaching and learning, research and publication through enhanced level of cooperation and partnership. I see this forum itself as a good example to that end. India certainly has evolved as a regional educational hub in imparting the world-class education from which the entire subcontinent can benefit. Apart from traditional mode of academic cooperation and partnerships like teacher and faculty exchange, research publication, and supervision collaborations, we now perhaps need to more specifically focus on 4 key areas, namely the climate change. Secondly, ICT virtual mode of learning and its outcome and validation. Thirdly, sharing of a new knowledge on technology and its transfer, pedagogy, and the integrating the same academic deliverables. And fourthly, designing of our context and civilization specific higher degree academic course that can attract the study not only from the countries from our region, but from all around the world. So when we talk about the climate issues, whatever we do here in this part of India will definitely affect our part of, in this region. Whatever we do in that Himalayas will be definitely affecting here in this part. So the research or education, whatever we do, so even if it's for the local context, so it's connecting or it's relating to the region as well as the globe. I'm outlining these particular areas of cooperation for some obvious pragmatic reasons. The countries on the southern lap of Himalayas not only share the same ecological, hydrological and river systems, but life and the livelihood of about 1 billion population is equally affected by the impacts of climate change and the global warming that are causing rapid depletion on the stock of snow on the Himalayas and the glaciers. In view of this, Kathmandu University has very recently started the academic programs on the glaciology. Students and researchers of the entire region can take benefit from it. And of course, we have already graduated some students from the region on the glaciology. In the post-COVID era, all academic institutions present here, I am sure, try to experiment with virtual classes at different level of success and experiences. Instead of being exhaustive on its outcome and learnings, we perhaps need to thoroughly evaluate the aspects that can be replicated and continued in future, and also create appropriate safeguard in the aspects that were not compatible to the very concept of academic excellence. Academic indicators in different countries are different levels of adoptions of all kinds of technologies applied in the classrooms, laboratories, and research fields. The resource mobilization capacity across the countries and institutions also varies greatly. Therefore, we academic institutions leverage on our areas of strengths in benefit of overall academic atmospheres, both regional and global. The demand of skills in the future of the job market is said to be ICT and digital technology focused. We are aware of, but catering to it requires enhanced level of cooperation and resource mobilization through sharing of both physical and human capital at our disposal. KU now offers a degree in the fields like artificial intelligence and has integrated the courses like big data in the graduate levels. But it has only been possible through active cooperations of several of our international academic partners, including several Indian universities. South Asia has its own heritage of knowledge, practices, and civilization. We also see an immense global interest in it. I feel that our academic institutions have a tremendous scope to develop courses of all levels. Buddhist studies, Vedic studies, yogic science, Oriental philosophy are already in the fields that have attracted substantial attention from international academia and students. There are several other subfields like Oriental archaeology, anthropology, theology, musicology, and arts, where our universities can offer new courses and degrees. KU has programs on Buddhist studies and yogic science and well-being, a fusion academic course of traditional yogic science and modern medicine. While talking about KU, it is continuously leading in inequality education in Nepal. Due to its established credibility, about 13% of our graduates are foreign students, and large number of them are the Indian students, especially studying medical. we now have about 300 active MOUs with international universities, and among them, most of them are the Indian universities. Of course, our higher education is not that old. The history is not that old. But even then, we have started now inviting foreign students in all the disciplines, with even some fellowships and scholarships and accommodation supports, hoping that we will increase our quality of our education, as well as increase the international networks. Our focus certainly is also in the regional level for the region of cultural and geographical proximity and the similar knowledge to the employment ecosystem we share. So I would like to thank AIU for providing the opportunity for Kathmandu University to share what we are doing, especially on the international linkages and collaboration. We truly believe that where we stand now is because of this international cooperations and collaboration, and we are fully confident that in the days to come, we'll be more stronger with such collaborations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I'm sure you will do well. It's such a pleasure to have a delegate from Nepal. It reminds me of my not so old days, but thank you so much for all the information that you have given us. Has the next speaker been able to connect or no?
Yeah, we have Professor Thomas to be connected online.
He's connected?
No? Well, Madam, you can please close the session.
Okay. So, we are already running very, very late. So I'd like to thank all the speakers, and to sum up, many of them have spoken about what higher education institutions can do. So I will just bullet point some of their points and some of my own points. One is sustainability has to be incorporated, I think, in the teaching of every discipline that we teach, not just one paper that students do and go away. Then we have to build teaching research platforms of scholars so that it remains alive in the university. Follow sustainable practices in our own institutions. We tell the world, about water harvesting and so on and so forth, but we have to do it in our own world, in our own campuses. Promote social equity mindsets among students, because we come from, especially this part of the world, very hierarchical societies. And so that hierarchical mindset, and we must promote social equity. Prepare people for lifelong learning, because things go on changing, and so the challenges will also keep changing. Lead in policy making. We are the academic leaders, and yet universities, at least in our part of the world, get rarely consulted on policy making. Prepare. Now, this is a pet hobby horse of mine, that we do research, but there is a case for democratic spaces in society where we present our research in a way that people can understand, so that they also absorb what we are trying to do, and we also get a feedback. If we do river sharing, we must find out that what will be the impact on communities living around that river, for example. Then develop sustainable development networks, which are already being done by ACU and International Association of Universities and AIU. Partnership with governments and community. Then the role of scientific communities. That is extremely important, but they cannot just give us solutions in the air. They have to also take the people and the impact on them of their solutions. Strengthen science and policy interface. Research indigenous systems. I think you talked about it. Research indigenous systems and see how to fuse them with current knowledge that we have, especially in the area of water conservation, in the area of seed diversity. These communities have learned to overcome all hardships and maintain better water and better diversification of crops and seeds than we have. We are the only ones who can develop indicators and evaluation of what work has been done. And then what I would really urge, because there is so much inequality, I began with that. Develop collaborations without hidden agendas. Often, and I don't need to explain this to my colleagues as vice chancellors, there are very often very many hidden agendas. And finally, developed countries poach on our expertise, on our talent. Now, brain drain has gone out of fashion, and it has been replaced by brain circulation. But actually, for brain circulation, there must be equality of opportunities on both sides, which is not true. So we lose some of our best talents to other countries. And finally, please, I think one of our colleagues mentioned it earlier. I was very, very unhappy because some colleague wrote some papers in Nepali, and the promotion committee would not give him promotion. But if we go on, I think you mentioned about local languages. Now, if we go on publishing in English and we go on talking in English, of course, it's a neo-colonialism. We have to develop strong systems where what we publish in our own languages are studied, are given a status, and given a position in our recruitment and promotion and further career advancement. Only then will we build sustainable development. Otherwise, it will be just, yes, I think somebody has a, yes.
Mike.
Take mine.
No, it's the.
Not a question, but just a reflection on what Dr. Baumik said. He said, sacrifice. Let us sacrifice and let us teach students sacrifice. How very relevant it is in our present day context. He quoted from Bhagavad Gita, and I'm sure our Islamic friends would also quote from their text.
Yeah.
And Christians would say, Philippians 2:4, not only what you need, but what others need. So if there can be a coexistence of religion, and I would like to suggest, as academic administrators in our universities, we will have to very stoutly resist any attempt to divide in the name of religion.
Yeah.
Then certainly there can be coexistence, and certainly our goal, realizing sustainable development goals, can be reached. Thank you,
Yeah,
Madam.
thank you. Very, very relevant observation and point. I would also like to say, to add to what you are saying, when we talk of, yes, sacrifice, yes. But the thing is, if your sustainable solution is more expensive than your conventional solution, then nobody will take the sustainable solution. So when you have solutions, they have to be economically worthwhile for a person and affordable for a person to take. So, and the way the linear development has gone, now none of us can do without an AC, but we are throwing a lot of carbon footprints because of our ACs. But if we have to find another indigenous solution, it has to be as comfortable as our AC, just to give you an example. So sacrifice is good, but if we just go on, if we preach it only, then it will not work, because our solutions have to be affordable, have to be effective. So I wish we had time for more discussion, but already we've been running late since morning. So thank you so much for this very patient hearing, and thank you to all the panelists and all the participants and all the support that we have got here. Thank you so much.
May I request our chair to kindly hand over a memento to Professor Thapa? May I invite Dr. Mithil to hand over a memento to the chair? Professor Mithil handing over a memento to our chairperson, Dr. Gd Sharma. Thank you. With that, this session comes to an end. We now have a short break for tea, I think, which is much awaited, to revive ourselves. We come back again. Chai hai? नहीं बाहर यही है मैं थोड़ा पैरों को भी
So we can have a 10 minutes break, ma'am. 10 minutes break and we'll reassemble for AIU business session and general session. Yes, she's doing. So thank you, Madam Kavita Sharma, for chairing this session. I'm thankful to all the speakers who were in this session. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. Post tea, we have the AIU business session. The chairperson, Dr. Colonel G. Tiruvasagam, who is the president of AIU, and accompanied by the convener, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General AIU. In this session, they put forth the problems which will be told by the chairperson. I will not be introducing about this. Sir, you want this?
This session is exclusively meant for Vice Chancellors. It's a private and business session. Any person of not Vice Chancellors, please, you can leave the hall. Shall I start, sir? It's okay. Beloved and most respected Dr. Pankaj Mittal, ever dynamic and Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities, who is very much familiar among all the Vice Chancellors for various reasons. To be very honest, I was waiting for her appointment many times when she was the Joint Secretary as well. Likewise, many of us got support and help from her, and AIU is very fortunate to have such eminent, well-experienced, knowledgeable, basically a professor as the Secretary General of Association of Indian Universities. On behalf of all of you, please we can welcome Dr. Pankaj Mittal to this meeting. And the Honorable Vice Chancellors of various universities of different parts of the country. Good afternoon to every one of you. It's my usual practice from the day I have assumed position of the principal, start any meeting by reciting a Kural, Thirukural. Thirukural, you might have heard about it. It's a Tamil literature. Right now, Vice Chancellor of Tamil University, Thiruvalluvar is available. His name is Thiruvalluvar. The Kural was written by Thiruvalluvar. Now Tamil University Vice Chancellor has come. Fortunately, his name is Thiruvalluvan. Okay. They can just to stand up, sir. Let them all have the privilege of seeing Thiruvalluvar. He is the author of the couplet Thirukural. And our most honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, wherever he goes for addressing any gathering, he never failed to mention the few couplets from Thirukural. It is a case with the finance ministers. Whenever they place budget of central and state government, they recite Thirukural. Basically, Thirukural has everything. Meant for life, meant for economics, meant for administration, meant for love and affection as well. It has got 1,330 couplets. So with your permission, please allow me to recite a couplet and commence our business session. Thank you, sir. Manattukkan Masilan Adel, Anaithu Aran Agula Nirapira. True moral integrity lies in being flawless in your thoughts, everything else in loud and blatant posturing. This is the meaning for the term Thirukural. And in all my Senate meeting, all my syndicate meeting, all my previous academic Association Indian universities, I started meeting by reciting this Kural only. And this Kural is available in English, Hindi translation also. I will see that it will be available, made available to all the Vice Chancellor as well. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Basically, this session is going to be in 3 parts. Part number 1, that is business session and general session as well. Part 2, most important session, we have to elect president of AAU and elect vice president of AAU. Now, the third session also very, very important, as mentioned in the morning. Interaction, sharing our grievances on any aspects, especially Ministry of Education, University Grants Commission, AICTE, NAC, NIRF, Medical Council of India, whatever domain you have. If at all you have any grievances, we will discuss and list it out, and the consolidated report this time is not going to be sent. This time will be submitted in person to the concerned authorities, saying that we are the president and secretaries, vice president. We have decided in detail during our session held here University of Mysore on 23rd. Now we are placing before you, sir, and give acknowledgement for it, sir. That is also most important. And we will much happy whether you are taking decision or not. Please give some sorts of the action taken report to us. Whatever month you want to take, 2 months or 3 months and 6 months, such a way this is going to be dealt. It is for your kind information, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Now, let us go with the bylaw as per agenda. I am requesting my colleagues of AAU, please put the agenda. See, now you need not have agenda, but now we are presenting the agenda. You can very well invited at any point of time. You can raise any point for clarification, and then only we will get approval from you item wise. Number 1, confirmation of the minutes. To confirm the minutes of the 95th annual meeting business session held through virtual mode on April 14, 2021. This annexure is there, annexure 101. Yeah, can I take it as a minutes only? Can I take it as a confirmed one? Okay, thank you, sir. Then action taken on the minutes. To report action taken on the minutes of the 95th annual meeting business session held during virtual mode on April 14, 2021. What action we have taken, already we have circulated to all the members. If at all any observation or comments or remarks, I welcome, sir. If not, I can take it for granted. It is approved. I can move further. Thank you very much, sir. Then next one. It's a reporting item. To report that Colonel Dr. G. Thiruvasagam, Vice Chancellor of Ahmed University, Chennai, has taken over as the President of the Association of Indian Universities, New Delhi, for a period of 1 year with the effect from July 1, 2021. It's a reporting item, sir. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Yes. To report that Colonel Dr. G. Thiruvasagam, Vice Chancellor, Ahmed University, Chennai, will be representing on the following bodies in ex officio capacity. It is for kind information, sir. I am happen to be the president. I am allowed to serve as executive committee member. It is applicable for the incoming presidents also, sir. Okay, fine, sir. All India, AICTE, Central Board of Secondary Education Governing Board, New Delhi, Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Simla, National Institute of Rural Development, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad, sir. And I have participated. There are only 3 organizations conducted meetings. All the meetings I have conducted. I have placed before our relevant issues and got the confirmation as well. Out of all these, I found the meeting conducted by Chairman AICT very wonderful. He allowed me to present 4 cases. Just 1 day before the meeting, I have sent a mail to all the Vice Chancellors. You might have received. I said, sir, tomorrow we have the meeting. The short time term only they have given. And 4 universities, they have sent their own problem with me. During the meeting, I requested time to the chairman AICT to present it. He allowed me to present it. It's a surprise, you know. All the four on the day, on the meeting, he attended and given positive reply that we are passed on to the concerned university as well. So I'd like to take the opportunity to register our thanks to AICT chairman. He is very, very positive person, sir. Thank you. And the next, to report that Professor Surandan Das, Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University, Kolkata, has been designated as the Vice President of the Association of India University, New Delhi, for a period of 1 year, with the effect from July 1, 2021, who has chaired our session in the morning, interaction with the officials. He is a well-experienced Vice Chancellor, and he is known for his contribution towards higher education in a bigger way as well. Okay, next one. To report sanction of the Ministry of Education in favor of AIU as granting aid amount to rupees 1 crore under object grant get 31 for the financial year 2021-22. Here I would like to share with you, we have been getting regular grant every year around 3 crores. But recently, for the last 2 years, they have reduced the grant without telling the reason. Nowadays, in most, you know pretty well, even UGC and DST also, they have stopped, either stopped or reduced the grant. Quoting that due to Corona, the fund diversion, everything taken place. But we do follow-up work. After getting follow-up work, we got another 50 lakhs. Am I right, madam? Another 50 lakhs. Now we got 1.5 crores. Still, we are pursuing to get the balance amount. It is for a kind information, sir. Next. Next, please. To report registration for revalidation. Niche karo. Of registration of charitable institution under section 12A and the 80G of the Income Tax Act. See, AAU has the 80G exemption. Whoever donates amount to us, that we have to renew it. Okay, the expiry date comes about 31/3/2022. We have applied. Hopefully, we will be getting renewal as well. It is for the kind information of honorable members. Please, next. Yeah, to report deficit of rupees 8,78,173 has been met by the AAU employer in respect of Provident Fund interest for the financial year 2019-20. See, there is a fund available, Provident Fund available exclusive for the employees of the AAU. All along, see, we have invested that fund in a different schemes, in different plans, of course, all government. Previously, we were getting very good interest rates. Very good interest rate. There was no deficit at all. What happened all of a sudden, most of the financial institutions, including banks, they brought down the interest rate. So there is a deficit due to reduction of interest rate given by the banks. So as a part of welfare measure to the employee, we have to meet out the deficit of loss of interest. It alone comes about yearly 8 lakhs and 78,173. So I seek your approval. Just we need, of course, the reporting item. Anyway, I will appreciate if you give approval for it as well. Okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. We have around 68 full-time employees, almost 98 total. Rest of them contractual employees, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, it is my earnest appeal to every one of the Vice Chancellor. Please visit AIU, sir. And you will be much happy. You can see how things are going on. Right now, renovation work is going on, as I mentioned in the morning. And you will be, when you come, you will see a different facelift of AAU. Even what is called as a guest house and food, everything, there will be a change, sir. Thank you. Then, can you give your can mic to her?
I was just sharing a small information from my institution. We were advised by our finance committee to check out the comparative rates of interest. All the banks are giving very less, but some are still giving a little more. So that may be another thing to look at, that whether by shifting our assets, because we had all the assets, our savings in SBI, and then we found that another bank is giving a little more money than them. So now we are beginning to shift because of the interest reason. That was the only thing I thought I'll let you know, that this is what we have done. We've shifted some of our assets to the bank, which is giving little more interest than the others.
Okay.
Sir, excuse me,
Hello,
sir,
hello.
Dr. Kaliraj.
Yes, sir.
It is not the mistake on the part of AIU. The loss of interest is due to the RBI policy. So why, the AIU has to spare that?
No, AIU is an exempted provident. It has an exempted provident fund trust. So the provident fund organization, they announce a particular interest rate every year. So that interest rate we have to give to our employees, even if we don't earn that much of interest. So this time the interest rate was a little less, maybe because of pandemic also. And therefore we have this 8 lakhs deficit we have
But
paid to our.
you can deposit with them. If you
Yes.
deposit with them, there is no problem. Why we can't deposit? Why should we keep it in our account?
It's a very good question, Vice Chancellor, sir. We have also discussed in detail in the Governing Council meeting, basically what they feel. When this account is being maintained by the office people alone, processing loan and sanctioning loan and all very easier. When it goes to Provident Fund Office for even emergency purpose of medical or bedding and all, they take 3 months and 4 months. To overcome that difficulty only, now we allowed them to retain the account, though there's going to be a loss.
If you are going for your age audit and all, sir, no, this will be.
Yeah, we don't have much, Definitely that time the audit option will be there.
Okay.
But showing that it's a part of welfare measure to the employee, we can get exemption, I believe. I am confident.
I don't think.
So what is your suggestion, sir? I'm happy. We have to help the employee. What is your suggestion, sir?
So the best thing is, whatever the loan and all they plan, they have to plan well in advance. And PF, when they are having the money with them, they have the provision for withdrawal, but they take time. If you go to the bank, if you are having good relation with the bank, within 2 minutes, you can clear the things. But when you go to the PF, definitely you need a few months for processing. They have to plan, but definitely this will be the audit objection, which cannot be solved. I think Dr. Rajan Valurkar might be like to tell something. Why don't it?
Actually, sir, all through we were only in, we were not having any deficit. So we were rather having more interest than what we had to pay. Only during last 2 years this has happened. So we are giving some discount for the pandemic. If next year again this happens, maybe we will think of it.
Yeah,
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Madam, the madam has raised something. Okay. Next item. It report that during the year zonal vice chancellors meet 2021-22 were held as per detailed below. Yes, as we have shared with you in the morning by our Secretary General, we have conducted 5 zones meeting, north, west, east, central and south. As we have planned, all the zonal meetings were conducted fruitfully, successfully, and actually we have enjoyed. But only 2 zonal meetings were held physically as well. And one is in the south, another one is in the, what is that, madam? Sulini University. Rest of them and all, we organized only online. And of course, it went on well. I would like to take this opportunity to register my sincere thanks to Vice Chancellor of all these 5 universities. I think most of them are available here. They extended a lot of good support, provided very good hospitality, and which has brought good name to AAU, sir. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor, sir. Okay, thank you. Then to consider a grant of membership of the Association of Indian Universities to the following universities. Sir, this time we have taken a decision in one of the Governing Council meetings. And there was a complaint from the applicants from some of the universities asked for membership. Why AAU is taking too much of time? You know pretty well, we are not conducting Governing Council meeting every month. As per bylaw, we have to conduct only 4 meetings in a year. But after taking over myself as the president, I made it different. Because every year 6 meetings, alternative months, I conduct Governing Council meeting because we cannot have more backlog in our work. Even that people asked, why 1 month? I have applied, I am waiting like that. Then in one of the meetings, we have taken a decision. Authorize the president. The president, whenever the office gets the application, it should be given to the president. And the president has to check whether application fulfilled all the norms. If it's the case, president can give approval and then can be reported for ratification to the governing council. Now we have made it like that. Now there is no delay at all. On that basis, now we are given membership for almost around 48, sir. 48 new members joined in our membership in the AAU as well since last year. Sir, already committees are coming from NAC, NARF, AICTE, NBA. Do you want a committee to go from AU also, sir? You are right. You are absolutely right, sir.
No committee was there. I think.
Instead of governing council approving it, the president approves and we report to the governing council and now we request.
I see,
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
we are doing, sir.
No, I think suppose there are state universities, well and good. Private universities are established, they are also well and good. Suppose they are continuing for 3-4 years, that too well and good. So any new university has come up, if they fulfill all the conditions, all infrastructure, everything, and there is some check or some. Yeah. 2F is there.
Yeah, 2F.
Then it's okay. Then it's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But I don't want to see any difference between private and public universities, sir.
But
Private
difference
universities are
is
equally
there.
good to public universities, sir.
But difference is there.
Okay. But even
Difference is
public
there.
university
We'll have
also,
to-
there are some universities, sir.
We'll have to just pursue that difference. Difference is there.
Yeah,
Yes, they are worst also.
because
Worst
I have
completely.
served both private, public university and private university, sir. I
Yeah,
know the
that's-
details. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pardon? Dr. Rajan Velukar, I think he wants to say something.
Is it
Yeah.
live membership?
Mike, please.
My question is, do we need to pay the fees yearly, annually?
Right now, we
Sir,
have the
stop for a
concept
while,
of,
sir. Really, we had a sumptuous, very tasty lunch. Am I right, sir?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Please stand up, sir. We want to see. Really, we enjoy the food, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chicken rasam. See, what your person told you, no? Chicken rasam sambar. It's a new item, sir. Somebody both.
It's a
chicken rasam
cocktail.
and sambar. Good, sir.
Sir, is it the part of agenda?
Mr.
Sir, what,
President.
sir?
Mr. President.
Commercial break, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, Dr. Rajan Velukar.
Another
Sir,
thing I would
whatever
like to ask.
appreciation and compliment, we should not delay, sir. Because Vice Chancellor entered now, it's the right time to pay payment. Thank you, sir. Then, sir, Dr. Rajan Velukar.
Sir, I have got another question.
Let him finish,
Not
Dr.
answer.
Rajan Velukar, sir. I will come to you,
Okay,
sir.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
You want to speak, Professor? Huh? Yeah, you ask your question and then I will speak.
Okay.
Do we need to pay the fees annually for this membership, university?
right now you have to pay annually 1.5 lakhs.
1.5.
You can pay in advance also, sir, lump sum for 5 years as well. Yes, Babji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne.
First April has not yet come. How things, 1st April 22.
Sir, because the memberships will be in the month of March.
See, likely there is no power. I would like to take this opportunity to share Something related to subscription. Yeah, I love it. See, at the juncture, I have to share an important information. Regarding the subscription. More items also coming, for which you have to give a decision. Sir, there is an outstanding subscription to an extent of 7 crores, sir. 7 crores. A is a small organization. Fully depends upon the income in terms of subscription only. Because as raised by one of our honorable members, right now we have 98 employees working. The salary part, organizing conferences, conducting various programs. Hopefully, our Secretary General will present the programs what we are really undertaking. We need resources. And as I shared with you just a few minutes ago, even government grant also reduced from 3 crores to 1.5 crores. So when it's a case, we can come to you only. And there are universities that have arrears of more than 7 years. And arrear alone comes up to 9 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs like that. Despite of many reminders, there is no response as well. But now it is my appeal to Honorable Vice Chancellors to please check with your office, especially with the finance officer and registrar, whether because Vice Chancellor may find time to go through all the details. They may have their own books and see that there will not be arrear and you will be making subscription regularly as well. It is my appeal to you. What we are going to do with long pending arrears, that question will come. It comes as a separate agenda. That time I will give you the details. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Basically, after assuming office as the president, I am concentrating more on this. Domain is management. I know the importance of finance, importance of funding as well. Even now, there are some state universities, they struggle like anything, even disbursement of salary and pension as well. That's why, keeping in mind, I have nominated mentors, our own staff as mentors for each universities. They regularly contact them over phone and reminding. And especially as per the resolution passed in one of the governing council meeting, personally as president, I have returned to all the vice chancellors again. It's a question of reminder. After that, it is reduced. But even after that, there are some universities, they are not showing much interest. And in the last governing council meeting, which was held yesterday, because all this agenda got approved in the governing council meeting held yesterday, in which, as correctly observed by Honorable Vice Chancellor, we have taken a decision of entrusting responsibility with the governing council members to ensure that they are collecting, they are ensuring, they are reminding the Vice Chancellors of their own region, sir. This step we have started. It is for a kind information, sir.
Some interest over the, if they have not paid their fee, regularly, we should charge some interest.
The item is coming, separate item is coming, sir. Please, thanks for your interest.
Because you said that this is the agenda related to
getting
things,
principal amount is a problem. How we are going to get interest along with the principal amount? Let's see.
Please.
Let us discuss that. Then agenda comes, sir. Thank you.
May I just point of information?
Yes.
Since we are discussing in the annual conference about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So I believe that we also believe in SDGs. And if we believe in SDGs, we should talk of equality. So just before this question, some members were talking about whether state university or private university, are they different or not? Every university is equal. So we should not differentiate between A university and B university. Whatever provisions are there in the constitution, accordingly the universities are established. And therefore we should not differentiate between A university or B university, whether it is a central university or a state university, public university or deemed BA university. Once we are giving a membership, every member has an equal right. And if every member has an equal right, all of them are equal. Let us not talk about the differentiation between A and B. Everybody is providing education and everybody is serving the nation. And therefore, as a conscience association of Indian universities, at least we should not allow this differentiation. And that should be taken into consideration while framing all the policies of the Association of Indian University. It should not be like that because you are this and therefore you will get this. Nobody is above any member. That is what you should consider while framing anything, whatever rules, regulations and policies or opportunities, whatever you want to give to each and everybody as an equal member. And therefore we should not talk of differentiation. That is what the point which I wanted to make. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
May
AAU
I
doesn't
make-
have any
May I
discrimination. sir.
make some very brief intervention? You see, there should be equality amongst the equals, isn't it? And we all know that the private universities are totally different. Their mandate is different. The fee structure is different, isn't it? Their infrastructure, everything is different. And public universities are totally dependent upon the state exchequer, where private universities do not. If they are having parity on all policy streams, well and good, we can have parity on AIU also. If there is no parity at the ground level, we cannot have.
When it you take this topic, it's debatable. Need not enter into it. Am I right, sir? We shall go further. Thank you, sir. Anyway, thank you very much. No. Then move to receive the annual report of the AAU for the year 2021-22. Already circulated, sir. And during her presentation, madam, I am going to request Pankaj Mittal madam to make a presentation about the activities report in which you can have more details. Then to consider the revised estimate for the year 2021-22 and the budget estimate for the year 2022-23 in respect of following budgets along with relevant schedules. AAU main budget, government grant general, Ministry of Education budget. So these papers already we have circulated. Can you please put it? Can you put it just quick? Sir, it has been already approved by Finance Committee and Governing Council member. Okay, if at all any comment, you can come out. And as on date, there is no deficit, sir. There is no deficit. But unless we improve the revenue in the form of subscription, we will be facing alarming situation. Because the portion of money we earmark per salary and is high, but it's common in every education institutions. And the rest of the expenditure also going high. So we are trying our level best to manage, sir. Okay, next. To consider receipt and payment account, income and expenditure account, balance sheet, audit report, and points for attention for the management respect of AAU, including AAU Employees Group Graduate Scheme for the year 2020-21, received Mrs. Sanjay Satpal and Associate Chartered Accountants, New Delhi, AAU Auditors, sir. It is the same of receipt and payment account, sir. Yeah, to consider the revenue account balance sheet along with the audit report for the year 2021 and the Provident Fund Trust account, sir. Before we were going to next agenda, there was a discussion in the Governing Council meeting yesterday saying that since we are getting government grant in aid and since we are using the funds of the universities, okay, this audit and all should be undertaken by statutory auditors and it must go for concurrent audit auditors. As on date, this is being audited by only chartered accountants. CAG audit, I know, they come once in 3 years. Now, I strongly believe as a president, after going through all the details, it was recommended by Governing Council. I am endorsing here. Because once you are getting because this organization should not land in trouble after 3 years, after 4 years. You know pretty well, the trouble will not come immediately. If at all anything comes after 2 years, and who was the president and who was the general secretary, that kind of question will come. Doesn't matter. Now, as far as this period is concerned, nothing, everything pakka and transparent, everything. In future also it should be. So now I seek your endorsement. Besides this regular, just like our government state university, just mentioned, our friend mentioned about state university, it must subject to other audit also, concurrent audit also. Concurrent audit must come and go through the details and give you a report. That report should be submitted in the ensuing general body meeting. It is going to come next year. Am I right, sir? I will take it for granted, sir. Thank you, sir. Next. Next, sir. Item 15, to consider the appointment of AEU auditors for the financial year 2020-21 in respect of AEU, AEU Provident Fund Trust and AEU Employees Group Gratuity Scheme. Yes, sir. This is a appointment of auditor. The decision has been taken in Governing Council. It's a routine thing. Next. To consider the appointment of chartered accountant for the filing of returns. It is also required and it's a routine, sir. Next. To report that a 42-member university have yet to pay annual subscription membership fee in arrears for more than 3 years. Sir, this is an item, sir. By Chancellor, this is an item. Letters to 47 universities in arrears of annual subscription for more than 3 years were issued by the Honorable President from his end at Chennai, from my office, University office I have sent. Governing Council, its meeting held on November 17, 2021. It's nothing but resolution of asking the President to send personal reminder to all the Vice Chancellor. We have sent. Then below, the list of, and the university lists are there, 47 universities, we have the list. I don't want to display the list. It's okay. Some of the universities, 9 lakhs. Some of the university, 12 lakhs. Yesterday, the Governing Council, what we have decided? The Governing Council, previous Governing Council, we have decided, give them 1 month time. If at all they are not remitting, the membership can be terminated. That's the decision we have taken. So yesterday we have taken a decision. Why not we take the matter to the general body today? And it's a larger body. Let them take a decision of whether we can terminate or give one more chance, whatever you suggest, sir. Please, sir. Yes, Vice Chancellor, sir.
So, sir, I think
we are talking about subscription from university.
I think so. UGC should not be its our matter. My suggestion would be for President, sir, for your consideration, is that we should have some kind of a scheme that somebody who defaults 1 year, we may write, you are writing the letter, we are reminding them. If somebody consecutively, successively is defaulting, I propose that this kind of an endorsement should come on the AIU website, because university's name on the AIU website is a good thing. Sometimes it's a must thing when you're trying international collaborations. The international universities look at whether you are AIU registered, listed institution or not. And therefore we should have a list. So you must send a warning letter to them, I propose, sir, that we will have to perforce put you in the defaulters list, which will do work negatively on your interest. But there has to be some deterring action. Maybe after giving 1 year consecutive repeating should be taken with iron handle is my suggestion, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's a really a good suggestion. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. To the mic to him, please.
Number one, termination of membership is a very hard step like that. Number one. Number two, continuous persuasion is the best way. We should persuade all these members. And third one, these members for the governing council should be made responsible to meet the people if they possible, contact them so that you can delegate your power to the members for the governing council. That's another way. Fourth one is that all the universities who are the members of AIU, just put on their website they are the members of AIU. If they are not paying fee regularly, they will not be allowed, they shall not be allowed to just put on their website, they are the members of the AIU. If suppose this particular letter also goes to the Vice Chancellors, they will do the things. And quite possible, they may be interested in there are so many other things which may not be, you see, allowing them to pay the fees. That's like it.
Good idea.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please, sir, please. Madam, I will come to you. Please, sir.
Sir, in continuation to the discussions which we had short while ago, AU is an independent body and it is run by the funds generated by AU. So naturally, we are expecting every member to be responsible in payment of the subscription. As rightly pointed out by many members, I endorse the views. Let there be a number of persuasions or even notice or whatever you can call it. But once if you are taking a harsh decision of terminating their membership, reconsideration should be with a penalty, sir. For example, you are just making my university to terminate because I have not paid. I have paid it, of course, that's a different thing. After 2 years, I will not continue, I will not pay. In third year, I am coming. So I have 3 years of arrears. Then 3 years they will have to pay. Then only you will have to give something.
Re-admission
type of things. Yes.
Re-registration.
Re-admission should be with a penalty, and that penalty should be harsh. Or else they will take it for granted. AU is a respectable, as rightly pointed out by one of my colleagues, that we are just displaying it in our website. And most of the things, when we are just having some of the international students, they will be looking at this. So naturally, we are taking the brand name of AIU. Once if you are taking a brand, we are supposed to pay for it. It is a common, simple business and nothing wrong. But once if you are terminating, the re-entry should be very harsh. That is my humble suggestion to this august body, sir. Yeah.
Sir, in addition to this, there is one more problem that the ones who are in area for say 6-7 years, what they are requesting is that we are very poor, we are not able to pay. So just give us a relaxation for these 6-7 years. Current year, I am ready to pay and continue, but previous years I am not able to pay because I don't have the capacity to pay. No. So should we allow any such thing or not?
No, ma'am. As far as this one is concerned, all universities have to pay the respective councils and everything their fees. AU is taking it for, we are taking it for granted, but it is having its brand name. We are making use of that name for the purpose. So once we are making use of the brand name, we don't say that 1.5 lakhs rupees is a big budget for a university. Not at an individual level. I'm talking of a university budget. And that should be taken into consideration.
All the 3 suggestions came from all the 3 vice chancellors, exactly acceptable as well. It's for a kind information. We stopped extending services to those universities. Number 1, we are not inviting the vice chancellor for the conferences. Number 2, we are not allowing those universities to participate in our activities of sports, inter-university sports and all we are conducting. Likewise in cultural as well. It is one of the way by which we are telling that we are not able to continue the services of AE to those universities. And whatever told by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, we can put it on our website. That's number 1. Number 2, we can request the particular governing council member of the region can pursue and give the subscription. Third one, if at all we go for, we not terminate and we can collect readmission fees. Am I right, sir?
Yeah.
Anything else, sir? Yes, sir. So the conclusion is we need not go for harsh edition of terminating the membership. Am I right, sir?
Once if you are terminating, it should be a harsh even to re-entry as far as this.
Correct. Good, sir. Please,
That's
sir.
right. One time measure we can give them one time.
I think House is coming to the agreement of there should not be any financial losses. We were talking about that deficit and it takes me back to that particular deficit. It is as good as it is a 0 interest investment to those universities if they are not paying their fees. So at least we should charge minimum 5% whatever we are getting if we have deposited in bank. that much penalty should be, I think, levied, should be put so that there should not be any losses. That is number one. Number two is that this is a humble suggestion is that we should optimize the whole financial transaction business, where we can save and where we can spend. For example, our print copies are there. Can we convert that into e-copies so that AIU journal can be in the e-form and we can have your website and server and portal like this? Maybe a governing council subcommittee can be formed and they can come up with certain suggestions so as to optimize the resources. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. On the cost reduction measures, already going on. I will take your opinion as well. We'll work it out. Sir, why not for lady vice chancellor, women vice chancellor first? It's okay. Please, sir. Sorry.
Is it just a question of clarification and coming from my ignorance of the constitution or whatever rules you have, whether it is part of your rules which say that if a university takes a membership for 1 year, they are duty bound to continue this membership? Is it part of your rules? If it is there, then certainly. If it is not there, then you cannot force them to continue.
It is not there, but
yeah, then you will have to make an amendment. So you will have to then,
revise the bylaw.
Yeah, you will have to modify your rules and clearly say that if you joined once, because it's a yearly membership, if you were saying, no, there's a possibility of a life membership, that's not there. If it is a yearly membership and it's an association and there is no statute which says you must make it, then you cannot force them to. This is my understanding as a law person.
If they want to remain and continue their membership, they have to pay. Otherwise, they cannot continue. We are not forcing them to continue.
Yeah. Please, sir.
Pankaj, it is not merely the membership. There are so many activities also in which universities participate. They will divide obviously getting participate in all the activities. And the most important, the equivalent certificate which AIU issues. If suppose any university is not the member of AIU, how can you issue the equivalent certificate to the students of those universities? That's another issue.
Yeah,
it is not merely the getting the membership, but there are certain participation, certain facilities attached to the university by the AIU for the membership is required.
Sir, thank you. Lot of interaction. Please, sir. Please, sir. Good thing. It's regarding raising resources.
Sir, just one very quick suggestion. When it comes to, because there was a proposal like it was raised that some universities are demanding that they should be given some concession. On the one side, we are considering about our brand values and universities are using our brand and fine. But on the other side, we also we must understand we are living in a country where there are great disparities in the context of the universities which are operating. There are many public universities which are operating in some remote areas that don't have budget to pay the salaries. So what I would suggest that if we may decide on case to case basis and maybe governing council can take a call and it can decide, that would be, I think, a more humanistic approach towards this.
I think it is very difficult to discuss, very difficult, sir. Your idea is right, but it's very difficult. See, for a government university, we are collecting 75,000 rupees per year, sir. So paying 70, because I served in 2 state universities, now I am with the private university. Allocating 75,000 rupees from the fund as a membership. Sir, one more question, sir, please allow me. There are some universities, how they have responded, you are asking subscription. What AIU is doing for us? Hello. Sir, the question, keeping in mind, it is somewhat relevant also. Because we are not doing service to the university wise. It's a general, whatever we do for facilitating research, academic, globalization, and so many things are there. But to answer those questions, I have taken to the governing council, there should be, because one more thing, I think you do agree. Most of the universities, vice chancellor only have knowledge about AIU. How many of our faculty members have knowledge about AIU? How many of our students have knowledge about AIU? How many of the stakeholders know about it? It's not very popular. Now, to make very popular AIU, we have brought out the schemes. Already circulated, it is in the website. There are 9 schemes. That is for each and every university Today morning also I mentioned in my presidential address. Okay, sir. And one is missing. How is he missing? I don't know. We have taken a decision in Governing Council, but it's not there in the booklet. That is joint conference with the universities. AAU joint conference, university joint conference. We give 25,000 rupees, yearly one conference. Okay. You can nominate some speakers if you want, suggest some speakers locally and internationally as well. The thing is, 25,000 is not important. In your campus, at least for 1 week, 10 days, that will be a talk about. There is a conference jointly with the AAU. What one is AAU? Such kind of popularity will be there. Am I right? This is one scheme. Second one scheme, the best researcher award. The Vice Chancellor can constitute a committee of his own and send the best teacher of award. We are giving award. And number 3, best research publication with highest impact factor. There is an award. Is it okay? Best student award, best sportsperson award. Likewise, we have announced it is going to be given every year to all the universities. Okay, these awards should be distributed in the convocation function. It's a request. When you announce in the convocation function, definitely the parents of the meeting, separately the chief guests who are coming, will have some understanding about, Association of Indian Universities there. It is the body meant for the Vice Chancellors. This and all we have introduced, sir. You can avail all these facility immediately as well. It has been approved by Governing Council. Now, no one can question us what I am getting from Association of Indian Universities. You are getting this also. It is for a kind information, sir. Yes.
Sir, what you have done is amazing and wonderful. What Madam has raised is that there is a technical issue because you take a membership, and if it is a continuous membership wherein you have to pay every year, then you can enforce it. But if you take a annual membership and few years if he is not paying and now he feels that he should pay, then you can collect only that. So please study the bylaws and get a legal opinion. Otherwise, if they insist that, I thought of taking membership now. After a few years, okay, I am taking again membership. Or if our bylaw says that once you take a membership, your commitment is to pay annually so that the membership is continuous. So this is a technical thing, and when we operate something legally, technically we must be correct.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, as far as this aspect is concerned, our bylaw is very silent. Now we are in the process of revising the bylaw, in which we will put it very strictly, very detailed as well. Okay.
Sir, I told, sir, that AAU should go to, coming to AAU should go to universities, number 1. Number 2, as what you told in Coimbatore, that there are about 200 universities left outside AAU. Sir, because you are so democratic and you're so secular, please motivate them and bring all the universities together, because you are doing wonderful. Universities are not making use of these opportunities. I think that's a great to all the universities. No university should be left out. And point number 3, I am really impressed that all the activities, as you told just now, that it is not only for Vice Chancellor, it is for all the academic bodies also, for all the, even students also, as what you morning you were telling about, that even students scholarship, sports activities also. Please, this is my humble request, sir. Thank you very much.
We'll make it, sir. We'll make it. We'll see that rest of the universities also will fall in line. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can I just add one point? Basically, we all know that this payment, everything is made by registrars.
Yeah.
You are having a meeting of Vice Chancellors only. Why not? We have a meeting of registrars. Then money will definitely come.
Yeah, that's also a good idea, sir. Yeah. Registrar.
We cannot go to registrars and finance after that. Nothing.
We shall mark a copy to the registrar, sir. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, sir.
A lot of time that there should be a conference of registrars, finance officers, and controller of examinations. So it is will be holding it.
Thank you, sir. 97th annual meeting of the association in the year 2003. By rotation, the chance goes to East Zone. So we have received 3 nominations, sir. Requests. One is Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, Meghalaya, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, the ICFA University, Sikkim. And okay, see, this is the selection prerogative of the president, sir. Okay, incoming president, sir. And we will be taking the item now. After that item, we can pass on the responsibility of selecting this, choosing this representative to the president.
Right now, the Vice Chancellor of Science and Technology will present here, sitting beside me. So far as the second number is okay.
Wait. Oh, another few minutes. Next agenda comes. Okay. To declare president and vice president of the association for the year 2022-23, sir. Okay. And it is for the kind as per the bylaw. And next to him will be the vice president. So now somebody raise private and public and all. Now, as mentioned by one of the vice chancellor, we are very believe on democracy as well. It is by rotation. 1 year president public university means the subsequent year it goes to the private university. Okay. Now I am from a private university. I am the president. The next the public university. So out of the seniority and as per the decision taken yesterday's governing council meeting, because governing council meeting already taken a decision, I have to report to you. That is the as per rule I am telling. I would like to share with you. As decided in the yesterday's governing council meeting, on the basis of the seniority available, and who is right now the vice president of the AAU. Now, President Surandan Das of Jadavpur University, Calcutta, West Bengal, University of Calcutta, has been elected as the president for the 2022-23, sir. Okay. And I think you have seen him in the morning participating in the interaction session with the officials. So I would like to join with you all conveying our compliments and congratulations to the newly elected president, sir. Yes. When we elevated vice president as a president, so next senior most vice chancellor should be elected as the vice president. In due course, he will become the president as per the seniority list and as per the decision taken in the governing council meeting held yesterday. Now, right now, Professor Gd Sharma of University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, Bilaspur University, Bilaspur, Chattigar, Nagaland, he served in Nagaland University, Koigina as well, well experienced, very well experienced vice chancellor. Now, I am very happy to introduce Dr. Gd Sharma to all of you, sir. Now I am requesting my colleague bring a chair and allow him to sit. It is an honor to all of us. He is going to be the incoming president after 1 year. Next year, yeah, okay. Please bring a chair, sir. Let him join with us. President. Okay. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Please take your no, please. Yes, next, sir. Yeah, that is item number 2. Consider amendment in the chapter number 2, rules and regulations, para 12, committees of the governing council of the AAU bylaw. And this matter placed yesterday in the governing council. And there was a report presented, but governing council not accepted. Now, that time I deferred the matter. Because of that, today, now I am withdrawing this item in the meeting, sir. Okay, it doesn't matter. What is it? Okay. Oh, these are all the various committees we have formed. Chapter 2, rules and regulation, various committees. Okay, go ahead. Amendment. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Yeah. You see, as per previous bylaw, the matter dealing with establishment was named as Staff Affairs Committee. We have changed it into Establishment Committee as well. Okay. Now we seek approval for reconstitution, name, change of name and all. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Earlier item, sir. Yeah, give the mic to him. That is a difference, sir. I think I made a mistake. This is the small correction in the bylaw. That item comes next. Please, sir. Okay, okay. Please, sir. Next. 21. This one, all the, okay. This one, yeah. See, the thing is, I have to tell very openly, because you are all part of AAU. As said by Honorable Vice Chancellor of Law University, Madam Vice Chancellor, when there is a constitution, we name it as a bylaw. There should not be any deviation. But some deviation taken place already, especially date of retirement date of the employees, years of employees. And one of the governing council meeting, they have taken a decision of increasing from 60 to 62. But bylaw tells only 60. We are coming under the NGO only. Our organization registered under NGO category. So NGO category means we are supposed to come under the Register of Societies Act. There also tells retirement age is 60, but unfortunately made it as 62. And it was subjected and given the audit objection age also. Then matter has taken to the one of the governing council by me. And decision taken is whoever already in service, we need not take a decision. Hereafter, people joining, the retirement age will be 60. That is the decision we have taken, sir. Am I right, sir? Let us go. Such mistake will not happen in future as well. Okay, next, sir. This is about, see, we have been invited to serve as members in various executive committee meetings. And these are all the organizations, sir. Now I would like to request the incoming presidents and who are all going to participate in the meeting. We must be very firm in placing our request in the concerned meeting. That's most important. Because I am not telling for my own. I have attended 3 meetings. All along I spent much time, spoke about universities, vice chancellors and all. Likewise, all the members who are representing. So establish what is AAU, why the people invited from AAU, that kind of responsibility is there. And luckily for information, NAC also given representation to AAU. The general body meeting can be attended by Secretary General of the AAU as well. Our madam is attending, he is placing all our grievances there. Likewise, all the members are expected to place the grievances of universities and vice chancellors. Thank you. That's right, I am telling. Good question. See, we come under the University Grants Commission. Whatever may be the discipline or university. And unfortunately, we are not getting good support from UGC. I can very openly tell, for all the 5 zonal conferences, we have invited chairman or joint secretary or additional directory level to come and attend the zonal vice chancellors meeting. At least to take part the interaction session. What we have seen, what we have seen. This I only introduced from this year onwards. Why not we invite and allow the vice chancellor to interact like that? But so far, UGC has not sent any representative. Even this is a national conference. It's a good opportunity to the people of the UGC to come and present their views, tell about national education policy, and tell about the steps are being taken for the implementation as well. But we didn't get that opportunity. Now, I am going to recommend as one of the resolutions now. Invariably in all the conferences, there should be a representative from UGC as well. Likewise, with your permission, shall I put one more request? AICTE, why not UGC also give representation in the Executive Council of UGC for AAU. Am I right, sir? If we get an opportunity, we can just place our own grievances and problems. Shall we make it, sir? Yeah, please make it. Please make it. Executive Council of UGC. Right, sir. UGC Commission, they are going to form a commission as well. Okay. Then to consider and approve the report of the AAU bylaw and recruitment rules revision committee on revised recruitment. That is also to consider authorizing the president of the association to approve the grant of membership of AAU to the applicant universities subject to fulfillment of the condition of AAU rules. This one I told you, know, ratification only. Thank you. Thank you. Then 24. 24, I told you, no, I withdraw this item. Okay. And 25, to consider integrating colleges with the Association of Indian Universities. See, we have been getting requests from colleges also. Why not admit us as associate members? Why not some autonomous colleges?
Not at all. Not at all. They have to change the title of association then.
Sir, the issue was that in the national education policy, it is mentioned that henceforth there won't be any affiliating colleges, and all the colleges, or rather there will be only degree awarding institutions. So this matter was referred to the governing council and it was discussed in all the zonal meetings of the vice chancellors, where it was said that we cannot be granting full membership to the colleges, but only to autonomous colleges who have their own curriculum drafting committees, who draft their own curriculum, who conduct their own examinations. But the degree is given by the university because they don't have the power to give a degree as per UGC Act. Therefore, only for autonomous colleges, and we want to integrate them in the sense because as per the national education policy, they have to become degree awarding in future. So if they have to become degree awarding in future, we have to initiate such steps so that they are integrated with the AIU or with the universities in future. Therefore, the governing council had approved that we can have autonomous colleges as the associate members. Of course, we'll be making the rules, but this is in principle approval which we are seeking from the governing body.
Yeah.
So unless the colleges becomes the degree awarding institutions, they should not be included. Autonomous colleges are not degree awarding. The degrees are being awarded by the universities only. That's why unless and until the colleges gets converted into degree awarding colleges, till then they should not be included.
See, when they become degree awarding institution, then they will automatically come. Then we are not doing any favor to them.
So autonomous,
right now, we are only making them associate members, not full members. So once they become degree awarding, they'll become full members. Then nobody can stop them. I mean, then there is no favor granted to them. So right now, when they're in the process of becoming degree awarding, which they will become very soon, should we handhold them and make them associate members so that they start learning the nuances of the university?
So our title is Association of Indian Universities. So in that it may get disturbed.
Basically, as per the NEP, there will be no affiliating universities by 2030.
Yes.
So things are evolving, and let us watch, let us wait, and as it's coming like that, then we can take a decision. Don't jump into conclusion. We have enough time to take a decision.
See what that is what I was.
Sir, this morning, Sir Buddhi was telling about this NEP, madam. I fully agree with you that NEP, I think it needs time. Maybe about 5 years or 10 years. You can't come to a consensus because NEP has done this. But the ultimate power is with the university only. They may be autonomous institutions, but they are not our degree awarding institutions. So let us wait for 5 years or 10 years so that we can take the decision. Thank you very much.
Now this is a technical point which I would like to bring. The intention of Association of Indian Universities is very good, very inclusive, and we should be inclusive. But while becoming inclusive, we should be technical also. Today, the autonomous colleges status can be withdrawn. Tomorrow, you give them a membership, and day after tomorrow, their status will be withdrawn. by the universities, depending and the UGC, depending on their performance. And there are a number of issues which universities are facing. This is a practical thing. And therefore, we must have patience. And as and when they become the university degree granting institutions, we should give them membership. But nobody stops us from grooming them that if you become a university tomorrow, but for that you don't have to make them the member. You can always have workshops, orientation, leadership program, training them about governance. Everything can be done. And I'm sure they will come to us for that kind of training. So there is a way, but don't be in a hurry. And therefore the education policy is also talking about in 2035 we want to achieve. They are not talking by 2023, even though UGC is in a hurry. Every day some or the other regulation they are bringing out.
Okay.
So we should wait.
Thank you, sir. But about the last.
Sir, I have just two things. One is for my information, but one is rejoinder to what he said. My suggestion is like when you apply for somebody like AACSP for accreditation. So first they take you as an applicant member and then they give you the full membership. And at the time you are an applicant member, you are being only mentored to apply for membership. And then when you apply for membership, then of course there is a process starts. Similarly, my suggestion would be rather than calling them members, for those people who have already got autonomy, as Madam was saying, my suggestion is, sir, it may be considered as an applicant associate member is what I am suggesting. But I think my view is that we should act fast because the volume is so large. At some point of time, we will have 30,000, 40,000 of these people mushrooming suddenly in 2-3 years time. By when, if we have got a system in place, it may. So for your consideration, sir, you may call them applicant, affiliate, member is one solution.
Thank you, sir.
So the other part was because since we have legal vice chancellors from legal universities, law universities. This for my understanding, because mention is being made that the General Council members, so they approved amendment to bylaws.
Yeah, it will go to bylaw revision.
To my understanding, bylaws can only be amended in AGM. And therefore it's not. So General Council can of course recommend. So I think these are the drafting should be, my suggestion, sir, is that it should be that these are recommended for consideration of the AGM, and it's only an AGM that bylaws can be. Then this is my understanding. If it is different, I think we can take a view.
Sir, basically, after listening all the vice chancellors,
Just saying this, that these kind of items, first of all, we should look at the bylaws to say, do we have this authority to make this amendment? But there are always the objectives of the association and all the rules, etc., have to be made for promoting that. So when you introduce this item, it should be that either we are amending the bylaws or we are doing it as per such and such clause of the bylaw, that this is the approval we require.
sir, basically, every day we get something about national education policy from UGC. When we are going to get a definite regulation notification, we don't know. We will wait and see. Until then, we need not go again. That matter is over. I think we have completed the agendas of business session.
But,
And there is going to be one more session, general session.
5 seconds.
Please, sir.
5 seconds is whatever suggestions which have come. So we are waiting, not giving the membership to autonomous colleges. Number one. Number two, don't amend the bylaws in bits and pieces. In totality, you should think, and then only you amend the bylaws.
That decision has been taken yesterday, sir. Governing Council. It is going to be a revision of total bylaw, not by portion as well. Thank you. There are a few items only in the general session, sir. Okay. to confirm the minutes of 95th annual meeting held through virtual mode. It's only minutes confirmation. Take it for granted. To report action taken on the minutes of 95th annual meeting general session held through virtual mode. Again, if at all any remarks, I am prepared to accept it. And the next one, various recommendations given by zonal vice chancellors meeting. Just for information, consider the initiating green graduation as a mega project for all higher education institutions. This item given by Dr. B. Balakrishna Shetty, Vice Chancellor, Sri Siddhartha Deemed University, Tumkur, Karnataka, has proposed an agenda for initiating green graduation as a mega project for all higher education institutions, sir. He is initiating, he wants to have such environment and such course in the campus. I think these are all general. We can approve it. And
what he is saying is that every student who gets admitted to a university, he or she should plant a tree as soon as they enter. And during the course of that study, they should be taking care of that tree, and that tree should be there for in the name of that student forever in that university. So this should be implemented in all the universities, and then we should call it green graduation, that you have graduated while you have taken care of a tree. So this is green graduation.
It's a good thing. We can just whatever possible, let them do it. Okay, thank you. Next. Please, sir.
This is your proposal, no?
Oh, you can speak for a while. No, you can speak for you. Yes. Yeah, Mike, give the mic to him.
Not that just like a green revolution, go green, all such initiations. Yes, it is not that just a green revolution, go green or something like that. It is like a student is adapting the tree. That is most important, number one. Number two, it is a part of the SDGs because it is also a part of Millennium Development Goals of WHO and SDGs climate. Basically, it is green revolution and climate. It is what we say is a student will adopt a tree during his course, number one. And when we initiated this project, and the student said, whenever we come to for graduation, for 25th year meeting, 50th year meeting, we'll come and see the plant, and also not ourselves, our children also will come and see the plant. That was a commitment the student showed. That's why I said this is a green graduation project. Now, what I'm telling is, this tree should be the picture of the tree, 5-year-old tree should be there in the photograph of the student during the graduation or in his graduation certificate, for which we have given a letter to the UGC. And planting trees by the students, I think it will enhance the intellectual energy of the students. That is also most important. Involving themselves in NSS projects is very, very important. So this is what the 4-5 requirements and 4-5 parts of this particular project. Thank you. Now, one space, the constraint which I also mentioned here, which plant, number one, and where is the space. Now, of course, we have got a space. The universities which have got a space definitely can put it in the space, number one. If they don't have the space, they should put it in the adjacent highway. That is the most important point. And we say about 2 to 3 plants, sometimes we collaborate with the farmers so that they will also take care of the plant. So it is either in the campus, or it is on the adjacent highway, or it can be in any place. It doesn't mean that it should be in the campus. So some of the universities will have about 100 acres, 200 acres. Yes.
Sir, in principle, it is well and good, sir.
Yes.
We will recommend. It is up to the vice chancellors, according to the facility available, they can carry out, sir.
And Karnataka state has made it mandatory to all the universities, that's number one. Oh. And Philippines government said for graduation of a student, he should have a plant on his name. Government of Philippines. So these are the points I would like to say.
Good idea, sir. And there are
Madam, pani for these plants is summer vacation. Madam, these plants are usually planted during July, and I think most of the plants will sustain within 3 months of rainwater. And if at all, sometimes the students also are ready to put, that's why I'm telling, students are adopting. It is not a politician who is putting the plant, it is a student who is putting the plant. And I've seen students taking water from their, from the rooms and planting, putting water to this plant. That's why I'm telling, the student is adopting a plant.
sir,
He's not just posting the plant.
See, if we start discussing about all these things, it will take another 1 hour, sir.
May I
But
add,
you must appreciate the mind of our Vice Chancellor who has brought out this matter.
sir, may
Please,
I add
so far you
something,
have
sir?
not spoken, please.
The Swami Vivekanand Bharati University at Meerut has already started this long back. And not only for students, we are planting trees in the name of martyrs. We have a Upvan garden in the name of Kargil Upvan. And we have 100 or thousands of trees planted on the name of various martyrs. Thank you.
There are some case studies like that in many universities, sir. Teachers garden is there in Bharatiyar University, I have seen. And students on the day of birthday, students are asked to just plant trees like that. There are many. Even go to VIT Vellore. Suppose you are invited to be there as a chief guest, they are asking you to just plant a sapling. They maintain it. Even if you go after 20 years, you can see your name is there. Likewise, we can do it. Sir, your concept is really good. We will make it. Likewise, may I know the presence of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Vice Chancellor, University of Agriculture Science, Bangalore, available here? So he has given an agenda. It is about enhancing 10% admission every year for increasing cross enrollment ratio. We accept it. Why 10%? We can think about more than. No, it's okay. Okay. These are all agenda they have given for discussion. And how far it is possible, I don't know. It is for discussion, for consideration. That's all, sir. It's not going to be a recommendation. Then next item, consider status of executive mode degree and suggestions for standardization. Tripathi, Dr. Tripathi is, yeah, please, sir. Give the mic to him, sir. Him come out with the details.
6 and 7 both are here.
Please, sir, please do it, sir.
Thank you. The agenda is proposed because many of the universities in the country are offering the executive degree programs. And executive degree programs comes as a part of work integrated program. Many universities offering MBA executive, many universities offering Master of Hospital Administration executive, MPH executive. Because there is no clear guideline on the part of UGC. So we are using section 22 and we say that because it is an innovative mode of delivery. So in parenthesis we are taking. And AICT is also silent on the degree. They say that executive PGPM can happen, executive diplomas can happen, but they don't have the mandate to define on that executive degree. So why not to propose to the regulatory bodies so that what is happening with the students, I have seen personally in many of the universities when they are completing the master's degree program, and after that some other universities they are not able to recognize it for the doctoral degree admission. So they are working, they have 5 years experience, 10 years experience, they have done they have made all the rigor what is required, and after that this challenge is coming. So if UGC can take the note of this and we can request them that whatever they feel based on the expert committee, so that's the one agenda that I have tried to add here. And another is the related one is, often we discuss about industry, university academia and industry interface, and then we say that the quality and relevance of our research is not up to the level, only rigor is being emphasized and Scopus and Web of Science, it is not contributing to the social relevance. And the challenge here comes is that when a practitioner comes for the research and integrates, as in case of most of the developed country and Western universities, if you look at the Financial Times top 100 or the Times ranking or any of these, they have the practitioner's degree like DBA, Doctor of Business Administration, they have EDD, Doctorate of Education. For example, if somebody is working as a leadership position in a higher education institution, why someone cannot do a program on higher education leadership and be awarded the degree? So we should be opening this in our country so that on the one side we can contribute to the capacity building, that is also for SDG 4 and also for the remaining SDGs. And the second is that we prevent the money flow going for $30,000 practitioner oriented degree to some other country, and we can bring it to. So just for a recommendation to the UGC that they consider based on the expert. Thank you so much.
It's a recommendation as said. Sir, now we have completed the agenda of the general session as well. The most important part is to discuss about three things. Number one, what do you want from AAU? So far, we were discussing about sustainable development, National Education Policy 2020, and all these business session transactions, general session transactions. What else you want from AAU? That's the first part. And second part, what AAU wants from all the Vice Chancellors. And third part, what we want from ABEX bodies. These are all the three things. We have almost half an hour time. We can discuss in detail, before which invariably in all the previous conferences, they have made several recommendations to the ABEX bodies. I will list out. If at all anything left out, you feel that can be incorporated. Am I right, sir? Okay. And for the kind information, sir, AAU has taken various initiatives by pursuing the ABEX bodies and got success also. Previously, as per AICT and UGC, the ODL program is allowed only to the universities of A+ categories. We have given representation saying that when UGC tells, National Education Policy tells, the target of GER is 50% thereof 2035, how it is going to happen by having this much of strength? If at all, it can be increased only through distance education program. When you limit offering distance education program only by the category 1 university, category 2 universities, how many of them you know? Category 1, A++, 24 universities. Category A+, 41 universities. And even for them also, they give only few courses. If you go on doing like that, definitely they will not reach even 40% average in the GER. That's why we made a proper recommendation by quoting all these reasons. Out of our efforts, now they brought down to A category university also can offer ODL program. That is number one. And number two, for patent filing, there was a discrimination in charging. Yes, government university faculty members, when they file, no charge at all. But private university people, they go for filing, they charge huge money. This also we have taken as a representation to them. Why there is a discrimination? Even private university equally contributes in research. Even number-wise also, out of 1,008 universities, as per record of UGC and ICE report, 548 universities are private and deemed universities. When it's the case, there should not be discrimination. Then that made them to take a decision of not to charge even for the private universities. Whatever minimum charges applicable to government universities, applicable to private universities. Discount. And third one, that's most important one. A few of the Vice Chancellors, they also privately discussed it with me. Yesterday also, there was an agenda in the County Council meeting given by former President, immediate past President Dr. Tej Pratap. What is that? NIRF, there are categories. They are doing ranking by category wise. Technical, medical, pharmacy, dental, it go on. But there are certain universities for which there is no category. And right now, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Tamil University of right now available. He feels that his university's exclusive mentor language. You cannot expect this university performance can be taken for ranking. Likewise, yesterday, Tej Pratap sir told agriculture is a major domain in India. But agriculture universities are expected to be joined with ranking with along with the other technical universities. How it is possible? And one more thing, I have been fighting in my capacity of Vice Chancellor with the AICT and UGC for the last 2 years. My domain is maritime education. Maritime education, it comes down to the 3 statutory bodies. One is Director General of Shipping, Ministry of Shipping. Second one is University Grants Commission. Third one is AICT as well. For all the faculty members, qualification approval has been given by Director General of Shipping. That is almost 68% of faculty members. UG is also accepted. What is the minimum eligible qualification? You know, even not, they are not graduates. They are not graduates, but they are good enough in their own degree of seafarer experience and the first class motor. So when my faculty of 68% don't have PhD, how can I ask them to go for research work? How can I register them for PhD? A small example I am sharing with you. Likewise, there are many problems. Why not you give a separate category for maritime? It's the same case with universities of finance, universities of forensic. These are all special category universities. We fought with NAC. I visited many times NAC office. Now morning also, our chairperson mentioned very specifically. Now they have taken a decision of going for a one more category as specialized university category. So they are going to be a separate manual for bringing all these universities under one roof. Likewise, there are some Vice Chancellor told about their own problem. That will be also taken. That is one of the success of AICTE. And AICTE, I have taken certain issues, then and there a shuttled. These are all the ways in which we are directly dealing with your problems. Now I am coming to the recommendations so far, what we have decided. Number one, tenure of the Vice Chancellors to be uniform throughout India. There are universities 5 years. There are universities 4 years. There are universities 3 years. It should be uniformly 5 years. Likewise, retirement of the age of the Vice Chancellor also different from private and public and all. It should be uniformly 70 years. Is it right or wrong, sir? Definitely. Okay. If at all any dispute, please come out. And the third one, salary. Yeah, these are all, we got it from Vice Chancellor only grievances. Salary. Sometimes some universities, Vice Chancellor are getting lesser by than their professor of the university as well. Am I right or wrong, sir? Huh? How the faculty will respect you? This is the Vice Chancellor. He is getting less than that. So that salary of the Vice Chancellor should be above. Sir, that's a rule. Law, University Vice Chancellor will say it must go along with the cadre, sir. That is the third. Are you endorsing, sir? Right, third. And the next one, name of the private university. Sir, every time we are getting regular notice. NEP implement this one. NEP implement this one. For which we need notification, we need funding. But there is one notification private university are expecting without any cost. The chairman of the UGC can send one circular saying that we are implementing NEP 2020, saying that hereafter private university need not put deemed university or private university, that can be as university. Very simple thing, sir. But it is not taken into consideration. This we are including. Another one, there is a recommendation in NEP saying that the fund distribution for research, DST or some other organization, it should be equal opportunity to be given to public university and private university. So I am not telling because I belong to private university. It is a recommendation given by Dr. Kasturi Rangan. It is there in the national education policy, sir. Then next one. All disciplines, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. The NIRF should create additional category of agriculture, maritime, fine arts, and forensic. And next one. Morning, yesterday, Professor Lokanath also told. And today, our Vice Chancellor from Mother Teresa University also told. Invariably, in all the speeches, our Honorable Prime Minister, and especially our Vice President today, I don't know, he has not mentioned, in all the mother language, the local language should be given much importance. And the NEP also advocated languages. But when you are advocating, why you are not considering the articles given in the local language for our own accreditation purpose? Vice Chancellor also raised. Okay, it is a must. See, when you brought something from outside the country, you must have brought everything here. When you want to go to China, the same thing should be applicable here. In China, they accept all regional language, the local mother tongue language, publication as well. So this I are taking as one of the recommendations. Am I right, sir? You want to say anything, sir? Yes, sir. That means NAC is seconds implementing National Education Policy 2020. That we have to come to a conclusion. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will pursue the matter, sir. And another one also raised by Vice Chancellor. What is that? At the time of submitting our SSR report, and we have shown, we have given almost 300 publications, sir, at the time of. When it went for third party evaluation, then TDV came. In the meantime, 50 journals delisted, sir. So NAC is not taken into consideration. It's not not at the cost of the university. That kind of discrimination should not be there. We are including. Even if it is listed out, it must be also taken into consideration. Yes, sir, two Vice Chancellors.
They consider only the papers published listed in Scopus and Web of Sciences. There are many disciplines where are journals not listed in Scopus and Web of Sciences. It is simply adoption from the engineering standards and which has been imposed on the other functional areas and other subject disciplines. So I think if we are bringing the language issue that the journals published in our language, then we also need to look that there should be some consideration about what other parameters they are going to see, not the Scopus and Web of Science.
Absolutely, sir. We will include it, sir. Next, Dr. Sitaram Rao.
Sir, with regard to the publications in local, not local or regional, this is the unnecessary word we are using.
Little louder, please.
Yeah. They all languages are equal according to the constitution. Every one is a national language, in my opinion. Telugu is a national language, Tamil is a national language, Malayalam, Hindi, everything. Hindi is national language, Telugu is regional. This is no use.
Absolutely.
No argument.
Thank you,
One
sir.
thing.
Thank you,
And
sir.
whatever the publications done by the faculty members in with the research focus in their own mother tongue or own language must be considered as a research publication.
Absolutely, sir.
And the second one is about the translation works. This is also very important, sir. Some of the
Translation.
teachers are doing very good translation works. Here itself in Mysore, we have a national translation mission. Some of the, when we apply for the translations of classic works and other books and other research articles, they are funding also. So those translation works also must be considered as part of the research work for the publications. That is my suggestion, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General, wants to say something about Vice Chancellor's salary. Please.
See, sir, sir has already spoken about the salary for government and private to be equal. I'm basically talking about the salary of vice chancellors of government universities, because private universities get a fixed salary, but government universities get a scale. And you would remember that in the last pay scale, the salary of the vice chancellor was 75,000 and the secretary to the government of India was 80,000. So at that time, AIU had made a lot of noise. So 5,000 special pay was added and it was 75 plus 5, 80. But okay, there was a little difference that it was 75 plus 5 and that was exactly 80. But this time, the salary of the secretary to the government is 2,25,000. Salary of the vice chancellor is 2,10,000. And there's a special pay of 11,500. So that doesn't make it 225. So even if the same logic has to go, either the special pay should be 15,000 or the initial 210 should be raised to say higher value, say 220, and then add 5,000 at the special pay. It's not the question of 2,500 rupees or 3,000 rupees. It is the question of the status of the vice chancellor. So the status of the vice chancellor should be same as that of the secretary to the government of India, even if it is not straight away, but this plus this. But right now, this is not being maintained. So last year, there was a request to that, to this effect. We did represent to the government of India. Nothing has happened so far. But if you feel that again that request should go, if you can say, just raise your hands, then we can again give that request to the government of India.
Thank you. Really good as well. And one more to the NAC. Sir, you know pretty well, 2 years we have closed down the university basically due to Corona. No physical activity. Even we have not opened the laboratories for research. And no student activities at all. So when we are planning for submitting our SSR, we are supposed to give statistics details for the 5 years. If we include those 2 years, automatically average performance will come down. this representation we have given to NAC, saying that you declare this 2 years as sure activity year and to make it rest of the year as the average 3 divided by 3. Am I right, sir? But so far they are not giving any positive reply. So again, I am going to include to give pressure. What is your opinion, sir? It's okay. Yeah, madam.
Sir, I am Vice Chancellor of Maharani Cluster University, which is newly formed in 2019. And it is not a university which does not have any constituent colleges. It is, it was created by 3 colleges only, which were started in the year of 1938. They had all got A grade and autonomous state and all those things, and that's how the university was made. Now, the special problem here in most of our state universities is, like for example, Bangalore University was trifurcated. It was trifurcated into Bangalore North University, Bangalore Central University, and Bangalore University. In the same way, we were under Bangalore University, then we were shifted to BCU, Bangalore Central University. Now separately we are university. The problem here is the employees, that is our faculty who are working in various subjects. They cannot be opted into the university, because once they are opting into the university, they are treated as new employees and their service benefits are lost. They will be considered as new university employees. And because of this, none of the teachers want to opt in. They don't want to give opt in. So this is there is a big problem in the all state universities of Karnataka. Actually, our government is agreeing to give, but our finance department is not agreeing to do all those things. They consider them as, say, for example, the teacher who has served already 25 years or 27 years, he or she is opting the university, they'll be treated as new employees. They are not considered as just a transfer of
Vice Chancellor, madam, I think it is beyond our framework of AAU. No, you are really, we are very much sympathetic towards your problem.
No, but
AAU cannot do that level. It's a local. Your Vice Chancellor, very dynamic Vice Chancellor, is available with the University of Mysore. He will be very useful to you.
Yes, sir, he is with us.
Yes, madam. This is beyond our area.
But
I should
can
not
you bring it to the notice of UGC,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sir,
Please send a memorandum and give a copy to us. Whatever possible from end, we will try our level
This is
best.
a very serious problem in Karnataka, sir. Many of the new universities that were established, they are not able to get their salary also. And because of this cluster university and independent university, AIU should come to their rescue also, sir, because this is very serious. Professor Hemant Kumar also knows it very well. And all the vice chancellors in Karnataka, about 29, and now they are starting another 7 universities also. You can just imagine as to what would actually happen to those 7 new universities in Karnataka also. Sir, AIU should take up this responsibility, and otherwise, nobody wants to become the vice chancellor of new universities.
Yeah, sir, I think sir has some new resolution. Dr. Kaliraj sir.
See, this one last government of Karnataka, they were the one. They started implementing new education policy.
Yes, first state.
Oh, this is these are the clustering the colleges is a part of NEP. Myself and Dr. S.P. Tyagarajan, we are in the committee about the problem in implementation of new education policy. So this is the right model to bring it to that. Even if AIU is not doing that, I'll take the representation from her and we will make it in our report, because we have to do something for the finance of the cluster colleges. Who is going to fund? It's not being told in the NEP. We get every day 1 or 2 circular from UGC. Rajneesh is sending from his home. NEP is good, this. But how to implement? What is the fund? This is the right model. The Karnataka government is the one who started the implementation, is the one first started from Karnataka. These are the problem. I think this has to be taken very seriously by AAU. Is it okay, madam?
Sir, the thing is, okay,
Thank you
fine,
so much, sir.
fine. Anyway, sir, 1 minute, sir. See, there are certain things we can reach. We have certain limitation as well. If you go on taking this much of issues and we cannot give a satisfactory reply and functioning also. But anyway, we will try to help you, sir. That's all. That promise alone we can give it. But one thing, sir, please allow me to speak for all the vice chancellors. I have respect for you. We have respect for AAU. Now you are presenting so many things. AAU constituted committee for NEP Implementation Committee 2020, headed by Dr. S.P. Tyagarajan, former Vice Chancellor of University of Madras. Member Secretaries Dr. Kaliraj, Bharatiyar University. They have but representation given to other 9 members throughout India, Vice Chancellors. They have designed a questionnaire and circulated to all the member university Vice Chancellors in the Google form. They asked opinion from the Vice Chancellors about each and every aspect. They have given time and we have given reminder. Can you believe how much percentage of response we got it from Vice Chancellors? Less than 20%. So AAU wants something from you also, sir. Whenever a circular notice comes from AAU, please look into the matter, especially the crucial issue like that. Unless you give your opinion, how we can consolidate the opinion, give it to the government as well. At least in future, if there is anything from AAU, please give priority and attention, sir. That's one side. Sir, we shall move on to a few more items, sir. Quick, sir. Because if I continue, attendance will be very thin at the end. Okay. Program is here only? No. Yeah. We will, sir. I will rush up, sir. And one more, sir. Most important, sir. UGC, we have got the document almost 17 months ago. Very much orientation given to us. Lots of conferences, lot of seminar, including AAU conducted throughout the year. But policy is different from implementation programs. So far, we have not received any notification regulation except a few. That too, after this present chairman has taken over charge, he has sent notification of academic banking credit and exit and entry and all. There are so many things for which we want a notification regulation. Because as Vice Chancellors, we cannot straight away take it to the student or stakeholders. We have to place in the Academic Council, Board of Studies, syndicate. There, they want some explanation. There are union people sitting, they will be raising so many questions in state universities. Unless we get clarification, we cannot take it forward. But sincerely, we are for implementing national education policy. There's no second thought. What I am telling, until we get all notifications from UGC about all the aspects of a national education policy, and there are 3 university states totally vehemently oppose national education policy. They are not for national education policy. What I am telling, government has to initiate some steps to bring in the mainstream, and we have to see that until then, the manual of the NAC should not be changed. But for a kind information, 1 month ago, there was a meeting in which they have shown the drafted manual, the NAC, in which 40 questions are there about the implementation of national education policy. When we don't have the notification, how can we fill up the column? How can we gain mark and all? If it's a case, our university will not apply for more than 800 marks. So now I am requesting you, allow me to pass a resolution and send it to the NAC and NIRF also, that until unless we get notification, sufficient notification, the manual should not be changed and questions related to NEP should not be included. What is your opinion, sir?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
That's really good, sir. And the next one, sir. See, there are universities. They started long back with 10 acres and 15 acres of land, even 20 acres of land. And during the course of the development, they started many courses, developed many infrastructure within the city limits. Now they want to expand their activities. National education policy tells about single sector can become a multidisciplinary university as well. When it's a case, there is a provision available UGC AICTE. If at all any satellite campus, additional campus, it should be within the city. Otherwise, that university should come under the category number 1, A++. When this university can get A++, when they can think about expansion. So The provision given in the UGC and AICT of within the city at least should be extended within the district at least. Even the universities, they want to buy a land nowadays in the city. What will be the price of 1 acre? Several crores. Am I right, sir? Several crores. It's very difficult. Especially government university and all, they don't have money even to buy anything. For government university, getting A++ is not that much easier also for various known and unknown reasons. Understand it? So what I am proposing, shall we recommend, ask, that should be within the district or within the state without irrespective of the category of the university as well. It should be state. Yeah. Any of your opinion, sir? Within the state. Am I right, sir? My request is right? Right, sir. Okay. Right. Sir, almost whatever I have taken, and there is a few more also. So now the previous conferences, after listening, you will not hear anything else. Yes, sir. Development. Even after getting and there is one more. With the reference to faculty recharge program, instructions may be given to the universities to observe them against backlog vacancies and to promote them to the next levels as and when they complete their criteria. Okay. Any other items, sir? I have told. Any other item other than what I have told you? I think I have covered. Yeah, I will take that.
What I'm saying is if we write to UGC about the development grants, that will not be fair on our part because 12B to private institutions was given on this premise only. The development grant will not be given, but then you can become eligible to apply for central assistance from other government sources. Plus from UGC, you can get, instead of institutional grant, an individual grant like grant for the teacher, whether it is research projects, teacher fellowship, or even for the students. It could be student research projects, it could be student fellowships. So for that, 12B is given to the private universities. But if we say 12 development grant, that will not, I mean, nobody will listen to that. That is all. Funding agency you can apply, yes.
Anything else, sir? Can I sum up?
Sir,
Conclude?
Sir, only 1 minute, sir. 1
Please.
minute. Sir, this is regarding our publication. What you said is whenever we publish our data, our country is almost like 130 crores and whatever data we collect. And only when we present in international journals and Western journals, only NAC is giving us credits. So let us fight for our own journals, our own articles, our own authors. I think we should give a lot of importance. They also said about the local authors. What I'm telling is we are conducting a conference on what is called intellectual Atmanirbharata. We have got so many Atmanirbharata, but we don't have intellectual Atmanirbharata. We collect data, we give it to foreign journals and they publish it and they reject it. For example, in the health sector, I'm a radiologist. Whatever I collect, whatever I do, data I collect, I have to submit to American journal. They will reject it. If I do a project on typhoid fever, they will reject it. They don't give any importance. So I think our journals should be given importance. Our authors should be given importance. Citations. Our faculty members, students should cite only Indian articles. Then our citation index will increase. This is what is called intellectual Atmanirbharta.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Whatever I have discussed with you and got your approval, we will make it as a recommendation and pass on to the people in person. I will present it. In the meantime, morning, the chairperson of NAC told he will be sending, I think NAC has a white paper. He will be circulating, sending to Dr. Pankaj Mittal. In turn, we will send the same paper to all of you, sir. Okay, you please give your comments. Whether you agree or not, you want to go for any addition, you put it. That also once again will be consolidated and give back to the NAC. It is same case with the NIRF as well. And it's the same case with the UGC also, sir. We will be, again I am telling, and in the vision and mission of AAU and the objectives of AAU, almost we are carrying out most of the objectives very well. But now only we are very serious about one of the main objectives is to acting as a representative body of the universities. That's most important. Academic, research, publication and all, that's fine. But who is there to represent? AAU is the only platform available for vice chancellors. No other platform is available. So you can very well just made your request through us. We will make it possible to reach the concerned authorities and get the action taken report as well, sir. With these words of my concluding remark, I would like to register, yes, Dr. Thiruvalluvar from Tamil University Vice Chancellor. Yes. I started with the Thirukural. He wants to end with the Thiruvalluvar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most respected President of all India universities.
Please to the mic, please.
And Secretary General and Honorable Vice Chancellors, good evening to all. Our university is a Tamil University. It's a unitary university. Land is no problem. 1,000 acres of land in the heart of the city of Tanjavur. But only thing we are not having constituency colleges. Our request is request to MAC through AAU on bar with the Sanskrit University. They made it. They have to make a certain special parameters for our university, like Kannada University, Telugu University, Malayalam University. These are the language universities. We are arrival at the B+. It's a special request for me, and also I request to include the President, one of the special agenda to represent these two NACs, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will include your request, which is very genuine, sir. Sir, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to every one of you Vice Chancellors, sir. You have extended your moral support for the last few years when we were in COVID-19. Even during the conferences for the last today, since morning, you are extending very good support in the form of giving suggestions, advices to AAU as well. It is my appeal once again, please take part in all our activities. That's most vital. To start with response, please give a response for all our mails and communications. And to see that regularly remitting subscription also, sir. It is okay, sir. And it's my duty to thank the good work being done by our Secretary General, because presidents are coming and going. For president is only 1 year. But General Secretary is for more periods, sometime 5 years, sometime 10 years. So he's going to take care of the activities of, yes, Dr. Kaliraj, you want to say something?
So that 1 year is too less. 1 year you can't do anything because, you know, I saw you came and during the
Now
pandemic,
I'm disappearing.
Yeah, at least 3 years, if not 2 years.
Sir,
1 year
the thing,
is too less.
I do understand, but it must be made in the constitution.
You
Now
please,
we are
you
in
please change the bylaw before you leave.
No, that's not an individual.
It
It's an
will be,
organization.
no, it will be benefit to the
It
next
is an
person.
organization, sir. We will appreciate your sentiment as well. And let us, Surandan Das, Professor Surandan Das can take the liberty of continuing if at all the provision is accepted by Governing Council and the general body as well.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
if you just permit, I'll tell one particular point. You told 3 states, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, categorically they told they don't want to take NEP. That is one aspect. Now, some of the states, you know, they send the report to us for the implementation committee. The typical example is Karnataka. They express about the financial problem. So this is a very good case study. We cannot ignore it. So, AU has to consider about the problem while implementing that. That also has to be addressed, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I am requesting Secretary General Dr. Pankaj Mittal, please wait, to give a formal vote of thanks to all of us. Thank you. Please go there. Yeah, please. Whenever. Please. One. You please give vote of thanks. Sir, President, Vice President, come. Please speak.
So, first of all, I would like to thank our Honorable President, Professor Thiru Vasagam sir, because he's so dedicated. He does so much of hard work, I think more than all of us. He is working and making notes and notes. If you see his copies, all will be filled with his notes. So I haven't seen any president taking so much of pain in the activities of AIU, because as he was saying, presidents are sort of honorary. They do have a lot of work in their own universities and they are there for 1 year. So they don't take that much of interest, but this president is different. He takes a lot of interest. He makes us work more, and whole of the office is on their toes just because of his presence there. So thank you very much, sir, for taking so much of interest in AIU. And I'm sure that interest will translate into the better working of the entire higher education system of the country. And for all the 875 universities which we are representing. So thank you very much. Thanks to the Vice Chancellor of Mysore University. He has been taking care of us for a very, very long time. And you know that yesterday was the convocation of the Mysore University, and you all have been conducting convocations for a long time, and you know that how strenuous activity it is. And immediately back to back, this AIU main conference. So thank you very much. And if there has been any sort of deficiency in anything, the mistake is entirely ours. We should have taken it more seriously. So just give a big hand to the Vice Chancellor of Mysore University. Thank you. So now I will thank all the Vice Chancellors. You are sitting here till 6:30. That shows how dedicated you are towards the cause of AIU and towards the cause of higher education. So thanks to all of you, not only for being there, but for also actively participating. That shows the interest you have, that shows the concern you have for the AIU and in general for the entire higher education system. Now I'll also like to thank the entire team of Mysore University who has been working very hard. We have with here Loknath ji and entire team. I mean, I don't know all the names, but they have been working very hard for this conference. Thank you very much. And now I should also thank AIU team. We have Rama with us. She has been doing everything on academic part. We have Vijender with us, who has been doing a lot of administrative work. We have Satyapal with us, who has also been working very, very hard. So thanks to entire AIU team here and the ones who are in AIU who had worked on this conference. So thanks to all the media people, all to cameramen, thanks to everybody. And now we are going for a cultural program in advance. Thanks to all the students who must be preparing very hard to present a very good cultural program to all of you. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Sir, my term comes to an end until 30th June. Don't think I'm giving today. I'm giving today.
Yes.
Okay? Let's take it for granted. And sir, please be here until day after tomorrow valediction. That's most important. All the three, sir. All the three. Namaskar, Vandanam, Nandri, sir. Thank you, sir.
Namaste, sir. Very good evening. We end the session today and we welcome for dinner at Vice Chancellor's bungalow, cultural program followed by dinner. Please go to your respective hotels, refresh, and the cars will be waiting for you. Please join for a cultural program followed by dinner at our Vice Chancellor's bungalow. Thank you.